Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys.
Upgrade your membership to gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race every Wednesday and Friday.
A lot of names, a lot of familiar faces, and another chance for $50 to sign up for PSR Gold. It's going to be a lot of fun. Why wouldn't you want to be on this list, huh? Frank, that's a great question. Does AI determine the winner? No, Frank. The fastest horse does. So shout out to everyone that's a member. We appreciate you guys. We let our horses run forever. 2.5 hours. Hey, we're racing. It's it. Odeo, here we go.
And they are off.
You know I'm not winning this. My horse ain't like this.
And here comes Big Show, who says 2 minutes is too long. Big Show wants this race to end right now. Going to be moving into the stretch soon. K-Wolf up front. Saturated making a move. And there's nasty motherfucking Nate. On director 97. And he showed me. Director 97. $100. He wanting all the money.
Oh my God,
Director! And it's Director 97. Back.
Oh my God!
Fresh, take it home! Here's 6-5-4! Oh God! Saturated. Friedrich gonna come home with it. Is it Billy Friedrich's time? Is it his time? No, it's not. Cody Norton making this doing the fight with his wife. Billy the fight. Algary's coming down. Does Coin have enough space to get home? Or will Gabby take care of business? Here comes the show. Oh my God! A third win for Director 97.
But Connor Mack takes out. He might be blowing his load a little bit too early. Is anybody? The contest, here comes Iron Eagle out of nowhere. Iron Eagle.
It's a packed race. 5 seconds. Crystal from the back. Crystal. The family wants that.
Get 'em, Jimmy, where low shack at? The bottle's getting empty, I'm the cracking, we stacking. Chips, all of this, what I want, plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone, I prefer elevated, Pub Sports Radio. Time to get educated, who get produced, fade the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call it truth. They getting slaughtered, can't forget Jeff and Low Baggers in the chat. That's a little weapon, cause we lead. Oh yeah, pubbing. We be pubbing!
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Wednesday, July 3rd to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. Big July 4th weekend for all. And we don't stop here at Betting with the Bag. We're live tomorrow on July 4th and July 5th. So while you are celebrating with your families and boozing heavily, you can still rock with us at 11 a.m. Eastern on the next 2 mornings. We start by shouting out our friend, Cheech Martinez. My God, Michigan in the house. Cheech places 12th in the Colossal at the World Series of Poker, picking up $40K. Cheech Martinez, our guy, delivering the goods, doing it in style, wearing a razor sharp picks cash it shirt at the final table. We didn't quite get to the very final table, but the final 2 tables. Cameras were on them. Man, shout out to our guy Cheech, representing all of us and the great state of Michigan. What a monster performance. 12th place in the Colossal. I love you, Cheech, and great work, man. Represent Cheech Martinez. What a guy. Great to see all of you guys here in the chat. Our focus is on MLB today. Only one WNBA game. That's the only other thing we're capping. 15 MLB games. We got TJ ready to fire. We got Dabra Cadabra ready to fire. Jose Bouquet ready to fire. Shout out to all you guys. Justin McKelvey ready to fire. Brian De La Cruz over 1.5 bases is the stacks play of the day at +123. Let's get that copied and pasted. That's our first game on the docket. I've moved on that game as well. I can't use the term that Jose calls Brian Bayo because it's effeminate to a level that's just I gotta how can I state this? But Jose is what in love with Brian Bayo, and I am not. I'm fading Brian Bayo first 5. Gerald Jones, Reds Yankees over 8.5 for Gerald Jones. That's the only other bet I've made today, and that not the over, but I'm on the Reds first 5 plus a half at +102. Now that's a TJ best bet spot. TJ best bet spot. Speaking of our friend TJ, fresh off Daby Cab being our first weekly guest to go over 60%, doing that in college basketball. TJ is doing that in Major League Baseball. Right now, he's 28-17 on our show, 62.2%. He's up 10 units flat. ROI +22.22% with an average line of -109. Shout out to TJ delivering the goods here. Delivering the goods. Swiggy in the house. We got Morgan Spooner, Nick Castellanos. Well, Castellanos. I know that's the jockey, Javier Castellanos. I know Javier likes to pronounce it like that. Nick wants the the bumpkin version, Castellanos. Over 1.5 bases at +115. You got it locked and loaded. Slick Nick Castellanos here for Morgan Spooner. He's rolling. That whole squad is rolling. I'm very interested in backing them here, but I do want to talk it out. Top set in the house now, a PSR Gold member. He'll be racing tomorrow. Now, will it be donkeys? Will it be greyhounds? Will it be horses? That's undecided, but we will be racing tomorrow for $50. Oh, it's $100. It's a $100 race. Yes, because Preston won on Friday. $100 horse race on Thursday, $50 on Friday. Top set 7 and 3 yesterday. Great job. Rocco Rogers, Troy Torrance, Kurt. We got a great group. Clint Zerlgan in the house. Sorry, I got a message that I couldn't quite understand that. I'll look at Justin McKelvey, Joey Harb, Stephen Fehrenbach in the house, Joey Marinaccio, the Dapper Capper, AOD, NJ Striker, Subhuman Gaucho, and Billy Friedrich in with the Pig Milk play of the day. Now 37-24, up 16.35 units. We have cappers delivering in the chat, and that's what makes this show special. Billy Friedrich being one of them. Tampa Bay, KC, first 5 under 4.5. Yes. I could have moved on that last night under 9 with decent vig. I saw Pinnacle moving at 8.5, and the weather gave me cold feet. The market just continues to move to the under. I imagine that's a perfect bet. with Pepio and Waka both pitching very, very well. So Morgan Spooner, Billy Friedrich, great to see all of you guys. AOD, Ick Schnizzle in the house representing the land. Great to see you, Ick Schnizzle. Big O, ready to go. Lee Davis in the house. Ken Mizrahi says, long live the Expos. God, I miss that team. Mr. Heat, Wine Time Sports, The Nuke Worker, Kelly McInnes, Viper NB, Remos says, don't forget, July is Rabies Awareness Month. I did not know it was Rabies Awareness Month. One of the few things that I haven't caught in my 44 years. Rabies. Free of rabies. I tell that to every woman I've dated. I also used to tell them that I was the only Yuck Yucks comedian that could dunk a basketball. And even though it was such a lie, even though there's my vertical maybe 5 or 6 inches, but if you say that to a woman with stern look on your face, as serious as you possibly can be, they will imagine you soaring through the air and dunking a basketball. It's impossible for them not to. It was the single best lie that I've ever had. Now, I couldn't keep using it at about 26, 27 years old. I mean, people would see through it. But when I was younger, every girl that I spoke to, I told them I was the only Yuck Yucks comedian that can dunk a basketball. And for that moment, they imagined me soaring through the air, dunking a basketball. And it helped. It helped. Helped a lot. Helped a lot. All right, let's get to work. There's razor sharp picks in the house. Billy Friedrich also on Fetty White Sox first 5 million. That's another spot that I looked at very, very, very soaring in jorts. Soaring in jorts, says AOD. Oh, yeah. Oh, it was gold. It was absolutely gold. It was the single best line that I ever had. It was impossible for them not to imagine you soaring through the air. But you have to say it very serious. Just matter of fact. Matter of fact. All right, it is time to get to work. Let's bring on the star of our MLB programming right here on Pop Sports Radio. And we've been in a battle. We've been in an enormous battle, trying so hard to get to the black. We did not get off. Well, Jose got off to a better start than I did, but we're in an enormous battle. And there's so much on the line. Now, our star of MLB programming is richer thanks to his Venezuela action. Congratulations, Jose, for that. By the way, 137.50 doesn't sound like a lot of money, right? Doesn't sound like a lot of money until you see how much Canadian that costs. And then you're like, ooh, he got me. He got me right in the drink. $197 Canadian. If he had phrased it like that, I would have put it in. I would have sent it in. But I thought it was a homer bet. I thought it was a homer bet on Venezuela. And he's been given the cash, sadly. The money has been sent to him, sadly. Ella was sobbing. Carter was so angry. I'm joking. They don't know about it. Please welcome our friend, San Antonio, Texas, in the house, Mr. Jose Bouquet. Jose, how are you?
Jimmy, I'm doing well. I'm probably not using my mic, am I? Son of a bitch. Great. Jimmy, I'm doing well. It is very funny that that happened to you. I hate that. I guess I should have made it $50. You are right. That is that's something that should have happened. Next time I will increase that. But I'm excited for you to meet another Bayo in my life, Jimmy. And I think I need Brian Bayo to pitch well in his career, because I've established that Bayo might have to be a middle name of one of my future children at some point, because you're going to meet Edward Bayo on Venezuela, and I died for him. I died for him right now. He's amazing. He's the very long-haired, curly-haired fellow that you'll meet on Venezuela's soccer team on July 5th when they're whooping up on Canada.
Well, yes. I if it wasn't Venezuelan Independence Day, we'll talk more about this on Friday. I'd be betting you right now, and I still might. Might bet you in that one. Is there a chance you guys don't take Canada seriously?
No, because there's going to be, it's in Jerry World, I believe the game is. There's going to be 100,000 Venezuelan people packed in there, stacked on top of each other, as all the stereotypes say. And it's going to be very loud. And I have a feeling there's not going to be many Canadian fans interested in this game. But Jesse Marsch is a very good coach.
Oh, we'll be interested. We just won't be there. You have some Venezuelan pitchers on the bump today. Are you backing any of them?
I haven't made any bets yet, so I'm excited to find that out myself, Jimmy. I'm excited to find it out myself.
Okay, well, we are going to get to work here, and we have best bets from both TJ and Dabra Cadabra, and TJ gets us started in game 3 of our card. So let's get right to work, and let's start. This is the best way to start. Now, the best way to start out was giving our shout out to Cheech Marinas. I mean, is that not spectacular work from our guy Cheech?
Yeah, that's amazing. Shout out to Cheech. I mean, cool. What was it? 40,000 he's walking away with too.
I've seen a couple of different things. I saw because they posted that it was 42. They posted 42.2 on their Twitter. But when I looked at the payouts, it was a little lower. So I'm not entirely sure what the exact number is, if we should trust their tweet. But it was a nice sum of cash for our friend Cheech.
But shout out to Cheech and Fat Wally, both in the recent days, cashing out gigantic.
Huge. Yeah, our guys. I love to see it. And speaking of cashing out, how we start today's show is with a little of this. Game 1 on today's board.
Stacks, 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 stacks.
Brian Dela Cruz over 1.5 bases, and I have faded. And I still won't. We banned the term that you use for him. It's his initials. It's his initials.
I've been pretty good about not saying it.
You've been very good, and I respect that. I respect that very, very much. Brian Bayo, 7 and 5, 5.55 ERA, 1.471. Would you like his ERA to dip under 5 before you give your child the last name Bayo, or that's fine? Because Roy Halladay had the 1 year where he had a 6.98 ERA.
Yeah, I'd prefer his career ERA be down in the 3s. That would be ideal. But Edward Bayo could make it all up for it. So we'll see.
Were you shocked that the weak, the meek, the light hitting Blue Jays destroyed him in his last start?
I was not surprised. No. He's not been good recently. Though there is optimism around Mr. Bayo today. There is some optimism. Does the line feel that way? No, I'll tell you that now, because we have a reverse line movement, and the Red Sox are facing a lefty who I've said all year that they are not good against. But I don't know. But Jimmy, how about this, Jimmy? Here's what he said.
Sure.
It's a new season. It's a start of a new season for me. That's how I'm treating it. I've done a lot of work to get back to being successful, to set up the rest of the year. Mentally, the break was good for me. I feel more relaxed right now, and I have confidence in myself. I believe in Brian Bayo. Now, am I betting him today? No.
I would say the same thing today if I was down 40 units on the season. Right? I would say the same thing. I'd say, yeah, I'm down 40 units on the year, but you know what? It's July 3rd today. It's a new month, and I believe in it's all trash. It's all garbage. It's all garbage here. Now, talk to me about lefties, because the Red Sox are hitting 275, 816 OPS since June 1st, first lefties. A lot of your preseason expectations have come through. You've been excellent with how you thought things were going to bang out this year. Not necessarily with Red Sox versus lefties. Do you still believe that the Red Sox struggle against lefties, or have the statistics now proven otherwise?
See, the most interesting part about me thinking that is that preseason, it's like, who the fuck's going to hit on this team? It's like, we have Tyler O'Neill that can hit as a righty and that can hit. And that was basically it. And we didn't expect a Connor Wong to be the best average hitting catcher in baseball apparently right now. Cedar Rafaela to be everything we need and more in life. And Jarren Duran, though he's a lefty, he is having one of the best seasons in baseball. So yeah, I'm a little surprised at how well they're hitting as a team in general. And like you said, 125 weighted runs created plus against lefties this month. Full season, they're 14th at 106. Honestly, still a little surprising. But the line does make me feel like they might struggle here today. I'll tell you that.
I am fascinated by this baseball game, and I have bet it. We should talk about what happened yesterday because I did go 2-4. It was an ugly day. Braves -1 lost. Twins cashed. Mariners first 5 lost. Detroit, Minnesota first 5 under 4. 2-0 going in the 5th. Lost. San Diego, Texas under 7.5 cashed, and the Padres lost. So 2-4, but lost them big. That was a juicy loss on the Braves -1. Panger Life says all the underbetters lost yesterday. I went 1-1 in my totals with the unders, but nice work for Panger Life getting that cash. So I have moved on the Miami Marlins. It was one of the rare times where I was given a better line at 365, and it hasn't changed. I'm on here right now. It's still +1. Oh, maybe it has changed. Sorry. Let me try this again. Yes, it has changed. It's gone back down 10 cents. So I got it at +120. It is now +110 for the Marlins. Let's see what Pinnacle has done with it. Pinnacle here, they've moved it to... So we have a first half move, and I'm sure a full game move as well. Yes, +111 now is the first 5 over at Pinnacle. Let's get into the weather. Here. Oh, wait, are we in Florida? No need for that. My bad. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have the Miami Marlins right now at +114. Opened up at +128. 14-cent move towards the Miami Marlins. And when we get to the total, we are sitting here with an 8.5 -114 to the under. Now, this opened up at 8 and then moved up to 8.5. So there is implied volatility in this one. Bayo last start only got through 2 1/3 in that 9-4 loss at home versus the Jays. On the road, he struggled 5-2, 5.10 ERA, 256 opponents batting average, 40 Ks and 14 walks. Trevor Rogers has bad numbers, yes, but he's been quite good in the last month. Now, he beat the Phillies in Philadelphia, and, that was a Phillies lineup that, you kind of take with a grain of salt because you're missing Bryce Harper. But he took care of him, 6 innings, 3 earned runs. It was a quality start. He struggled on the road too. I don't really care. What I do care about is the Red Sox are hitting 275, 816 versus lefties. The Marlins are only hitting 217, 594 versus righties. Both bullpens have been quite good, but that does concern me. That's the only thing that doesn't correlate with my action. But when you're getting a +120 on the first 5, maybe not everything is going to correlate properly, and that's what I figured. Right now, we have 94% of tickets, 95% of cash on the over. We've moved a half run in that direction, and we have 78% of the tickets and 91% of the cash on the Boston Red Sox, despite this move to the Marlins. MLB spreadsheet play of the day, dog, another casher last night for Ronnie Crawford, doing a spectacular work, a yeoman's work from Ronnie Crawford. I'll be copying and pasting everything here. Troy Torrance also saying under in KC easy. Yeah, I get it. I just couldn't pull the trigger, and that's fine. I can let that one go. Are you moving on this game before we move on to game 2, Jose Bouquet?
I don't think I am. 94% of the bets and 95% of the money on the over in this game. And it went from 8 -115 to just 8 -120 at our friends at Bet Online. Does kind of make me feel like Bayo might have a good start here today.
Well, Bet Online hasn't moved it to 8.5.
It has not. No. I'll refresh my site here again just in case, because obviously, who knows? It might have been a second since I've refreshed. 8 -125. Yeah, 8 -120 actually on the site.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, sorry. Continue on.
Yeah, so that's a little worrisome. But if I had to play anything, I would lean where Morgan Spooner's leaning in this game. Tyler O'Neill destroys lefties. That's why the Red Sox signed him. So I'd lean that way to take a prop with him. And by the way, just to answer your question, Billy Friedrich. I won't answer your first question, but your second question, if the Red Sox
No, we need both questions answered.
This is obviously my shirt. This is a great shirt. Great shirt. I made it with Helga, of course. Come on. But it's scary. It's obviously the Royals I'm not worried about. They're a half game back of the Royals right now. It's the Astros Seattle Mariners combo that's making me roll my eyes here, because one of those teams obviously going to win the division, and then the other one is going to be left fighting for the wild card spot. Astros are 3 games back. Everyone thinks they're going to come back and win that division. So we had to deal with the Mariners. So I've gone back and forth with all this, but yes, I do think the Red Sox still make the playoffs.
And, losing the Mariners' first 5, Grayson Rodriguez shoving on the road was disappointing, but I cannot believe. Now, you're right that the Yankees are going to add on. That's for surety. We think that it'll be really easy for the Orioles too, because they've got the stocked farm system.
Yeah, they they need the desire to, yeah.
But even the Orioles are now plus 110, so they were plus 140 when I moved on. When I look at these two rosters, I can't even believe they could be a dog. I can't believe they could be a dog. And I beat myself up for not backing Ashcraft yesterday. So TJ did move on the over in this one. A lot of talk about the over in this one. It's not one of TJ's best bets, and he'll be joining us here shortly. 62.2%. TJ's hitting on the. That makes me feel good. Makes me feel good because we bring him in because we tell everybody, look, he's here to make us money, and he's done exactly that with a 4-9 start to the year. Yeah, that's important. It's important. When you believe in somebody, for them to deliver is important. Von Polo also on the over. All right, we move on. So that's my first spot on the board. Marlins first 5 at plus 120. At the time, it was plus 117 at Pinnacle, plus 123.65. We move on. 6:40 p.m. Eastern to Chicago White Sox 24-63, 8-34 on the road. At the Cleveland Guardians 53-30, 27-9 at home. We're at Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio, home of Schnizzle. Let's get into the weather here in the land. We have 92 Fahrenheit. Feels like 96. Hot for those workers in Cleveland. Our guy, Schnizzle HVAC, hot. So stay cool there in Cleveland for all you guys working so hard for your cash. 92 Fahrenheit, feels like 96. 12.6 miles per hour left to right and slightly out. 12.6 down to 11.6. Let's get into the line history here for this one. This total sitting at Pinnacle at 8.5. Opened up at 8.5, dropped to 8. Got back up to 8.5, then dropped to 8 again. But it's sitting at 8.5 right now. So we've had zero movement, no movement at all on the total. It's back, I should say. There's been movement, but it's back to where it started. We have the Guardians at minus 182. They opened up at minus 171, and the lines moved in their direction. We already heard yesterday that our friend Billy Friedrich was moving on the White Sox today. So I've been keeping a very close eye on this spot. When we go to the first 5, there is a big price difference. Guardians are now minus 155 here. This is Bet Online because I can't get the first 5 line movement at Pinnacle. So there's been, on the first 5, there's been a 5-cent move towards the White Sox. The question is, what's Gavin Williams going to give us here? He's missed the entire season due to elbow discomfort. He had 1 start in Akron, allowed 1 earned run in 5 innings, didn't walk a batter. Then they moved him up to Columbus, and AAA's had 5 starts there, and he's only thrown 12 innings. He's not looked, well, I shouldn't say he's not looked, he hasn't looked very good. 8 earned runs, 10 runs overall, 8 earned in just 12 innings. 20 Ks, 7 walks, 1.75 whip. East Carolina Pirate. So shout out to the Earl brothers. First round pick, 23rd overall in the 2021 draft. And I don't know what Gavin Williams is going to give us. I don't know. So Brahma B says Gavin Williams been waiting for this day. Lee Davis leading to the under. Gifted Cartel on White Sox first 5 plus a half. Troy Torrance says the Guardians couldn't cover the run line for your boy yesterday. So, Jose, Gavin Williams is a question mark right now. Eric Fedde, he had this phenomenal record at home, but he hadn't been home for 5 starts. 5 straight starts on the road, and I had a feeling that he was going to not deliver. Now, we still cashed that first 5 under 4.5 very thankfully because Gavin Stone threw a complete game, and we'll be talking a shutout. So we'll be talking about Gavin Stone here at the end of the card. But Fedde didn't look that good, and he's not been that good on the road. He's a really good pitcher this year. Someone I believed in for a long time. It's cost me a lot of money. 1-2, 4.47 ERA on the road, 257 opponent's batting average. Lee Davis says Fedde 1-1, 2.25 ERA last 3 road starts. Yeah, he's Gifted Cartel says Williams won't make it to pitch count. White Sox first 5, Guardians whole game. Mr. Heat says White Sox have been playing Cleveland tough this year. White Sox first righty since June 1st, 218, 645 OPS. Guardians 254, 752. Big advantage there. Guardians bullpen's been a lead all season long. Since June 1st, 2.66 ERA, 1.12 whip. While the White Sox bullpen, now TJ and I said it on the show and we were, laughed at. We said the White Sox bullpen is pitching better. They're pitching good. They can even be believed in at times. Since June 1st, 4.34 ERA, 1.35 whip. A little bit more impressive. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this spot. On the cash flow, we have 86% of tickets, 97% of the cash on the Cleveland Guardians. And on the total, we have 95% of tickets and 95% of cash on the over. Jose, what the hell's Gavin Williams going to do? And am I leaving money on the table not being on the White Sox first 5 plus a half? Take it away.
Yeah, I was kind of leaning that way as well. Gavin Williams rehab starts. He went to AAA and he had 6 starts. He actually went to AA for one of them, which is kind of interesting. So he started off 1 inning, but he gave up 2 hits and 2 runs. Interesting on a home run. 2 1/3, 3 hits, 3 earned runs. 3 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs on a home run. Then he got crushed a little bit. 1 2/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks, 1 hit by a pitch and a walk there. And by the way, these are other ones are 5 Ks, 2 walks, and 2 Ks, 2 walks there. So not the control we're looking for. He went down to AA and then dominated 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, no walks. Then got pulled back up to AAA one more time for a 4 inning, 3 hit, 1 earned run, 6 Ks, 2 walk performance there. So those last 2 starts are very interesting to me, just to get his confidence back and get him back in a sort of rhythm. I do like the White Sox first 5 here, really, but I don't think I like it enough to move on it. Have we had any movement on the money line on Pinnacle? You said, or sorry, I always forget which that.
There's been a move to the Guardians. There's never been a move to the White Sox, but it's only 10 cents.
Yeah, I probably will just stay off. I like Fedde, but White Sox are still the worst hitting team against righties full season. And last month, they, not really that good. 81 weighted runs created plus, but they weren't last. So no action for me.
I do feel like Fedde is in an okay spot, but Naylor gets to him. Quan gets to him. Both Naylor brothers have hit jacks off of him. Jose Ramirez doesn't, though. That's all you need. You need to be able to get Jose Ramirez out. Quan will get on base, and Naylor can bring him home. But yes, Lee Davis, movement everywhere towards the White Sox first 5. I don't see how White Sox first 5 plus a half shouldn't be on the card, honestly. It's not expensive.
And by the way, Fedde has faced the Guardians this year twice now. First time was at the Guardians. It was his 3rd start of the season. 5 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned on 3 home runs. And then he went Guardians at home, 6 shutout innings, 6 hits, 3 Ks, no walks. But yeah, again, I like the White Sox. I just can't move on it, unfortunately. Not enough confidence, I guess.
I think I can. I think that I can. Where did I put? Oh, because Pig Milk wasn't What was Pig Milk? Isn't Fetty, even though he told us he was on it, right? Where did I copy and paste Pig Milk?
Pig
There
Milk
it
is
is.
the-
Tampa Bay
yeah.
KC first 500, 4.5. Okay. You know what? TJ's on the next game. Let's not move to it. Let's have him come in here and tell us his thoughts on this White Sox Guardians, because I'm thinking of sending it in right now. Please welcome. We got upstate New York in the house, delivering 62.2% on the season here with us, and that's starting out 4-9, which means he's 24-8 in his last 32 bets, 22.22 ROI, 22.22% ROI, average line minus 109. Please welcome our friend TJ to the telecast. TJ, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. How are you guys?
We are good, my friend. What do you think of White Sox first 5 plus a half before we move on to your best bets?
I have the first 5 almost dead even. So I have Cleveland with like a 0.2 run favorite. So I think first 5 plus a half is a good bet. Depending on the juice, I wasn't paying attention right there before.
Why have you not bet it?
There's not enough of an edge for me. That's it. It's just value.
What is your expectation of Gavin Williams here?
I think he does, 5 innings, 2 runs. I just don't trust the White Sox offense still enough. Because I think Fetty holds him down too. I actually would like the under a lot more than picking a side here. And I'd go full game under.
Because we have talked about the bullpens for the White Sox starting to pitch a little better.
I think the value's on the White Sox at the price. But I don't know if I'd want to cut that. I'd have to dig into that one deeper, to be honest. I know that's not good analysis. I'd have to see who they used yesterday out of the pen.
And the full game dropped to 8 a few times and would come back up to 8.5. Okay. Jose, set up the Cardinals Pirates game here for us. I'm going to move on the White Sox first 5 plus a half and get it in. And I'm going to put the under here. And I'm going to put the under here as a possible here. So I would like just to get this bet in. I do think that this line will continue to move towards the White Sox first 5. And the minus 104, it's crucial to keep the VIG down low possible. I don't think I'll be able to if I wait. So we have best bet time from our guy TJ. Take it away, Jose. Set it up for TJ.
Yeah, so let's start talking about this Cardinals-Pirates game. Good pitching matchup. Very sneaky good pitching matchup here with Miles Mikolas versus Jared Jones. So I remember very clearly Miles Mikolas' start against the Pittsburgh Pirates last time out. Well, it wasn't, I guess, his last time out, but his last appearance against them. 7 innings, 1 hit ball, 6 Ks, 1 walk there against Paul Skeens. I remember it well because I thought he was going to get touched up there. And it was the day that we talked about how he's one of the leaders in location plus when it comes to pitching. And it was pretty crazy to see that he's locating all of his pitches, just doesn't have the super stuff behind it, but very interesting nonetheless. So Jared Jones, one of my favorite pitchers this year, honestly, is one of these things that I was immediately right about, which was kind of nice that I saw him pitch like twice. And I was like, oh, he's the best pitcher on the Pirates. That's not even close. And then lo and behold, Paul Skeens comes up. But 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs last time for him against Tampa Bay, 8 Ks, 3 walks, coming off of a rough start in Colorado. And I believe that was his first start in Colorado as well. So I give him a pass for that. Tampa Bay, not a horrible team, but still not good. In a 7-inning, 2-hit, 2 earned run performance against them, he'll accept every time. And Mikolas, by the way, coming off of getting rocked in his own right as well. 4 1/3, 12 hits, 10 runs, 9 of them earned on only 1 home run. So just getting batted around in those 4 1/3 innings, which is not ideal. But I do think he can bounce back against a team he's already dominated once, truthfully. And this under is kind of screaming. But let's talk about the splits for the money line first. 72% of the bets on the Pirates, but only 48% of the money on them. So bigger bets on those Cardinals there with 28% of the bets and 52% of the money on them. This money line went from minus 120 to -122, -123 at Bet Online for the Pirates here. So not much movement, slight movement towards the Pirates, interestingly enough. And for the total, 90% of the bets and 88% of the money on the over. Kind of like all the over bets in these games recently. And this went from 8 -110 and is now 8 -125 to the over, and other places are starting to show the 8.5s here as well. So very interesting. TJ, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this game.
Before we hand it over to TJ, I do want, because I left money on the table not being on Oakland A's yesterday. And I broke down why I wanted to. I thought that Soriano would be out of his rhythm. And it's okay to get talked off when these things happen. Here, TJ, we have Jones skipping his last start to keep his innings down. This is different than Soriano having an abdomen infection and being on the IL for 15 days. But his last start was June 22nd. And I just want that to be touched on as well. The only other real difference here, Cards versus righty since June 1st, 257, 732. Pirates 224, 661. So the Cards have the advantage there. And then the Cards have the advantage in the bullpen. 2.71 ERA, 1.15 whip since June 1st, while the Pirates are 4.57, 1.29. But start with the pitchers and start with Gerald Jones being skipped in his last start, and take it away, TJ, my man.
So I will admit, this is one of the areas that I'm not super knowledgeable on, or I don't think there's a ton of insight that they will talk about openly about missing a start, or how that affected them. We can obviously see it in the results sometimes, and you've been spot on a couple ones that I've fallen for. But if I was to guess, being that he's so young and this is his first year, and I think the hype of being at home, where he's pitched very well, I would be surprised to see him come out sluggish. I mean, some of it has to do with he went 7 innings in his last start, and if they're trying to keep his pitch count down, that would be the time to rest somebody. When he's had other longer starts, so he went 6 innings on May 16th and May 22nd. He had a poor outing the next game, 4 1/3, 5 runs at Detroit. That's a really bad start. So maybe some of that logic went into it. Yeah, that's kind of what I gather from that.
No, that's a good answer. So take it away. You tweeted out your action to lock in the line. You're moving on the first 5 under. Let's talk about. Oh, and by the way, Pinnacle Moneyline movement. And I think the markets had a real good sense of Michaelis. When it starts moving in the opposite direction of Michaelis, he gets lit up. When the total skyrocketing, he gets touched. And then when it's a surprise, this line's not moving situation, Michaelis delivers. With this cash flow on the money line, the Cardinals are the sharp action, 28% of tickets and 52% of the cash. And this line is not moved. It's right back to exactly where it started on the full game at -119. For TJ's action on the first 5 under 4.5, this opened up at 4. It wasn't a real 4. It was -123 to the over, +107 to the under. So then it moved to 4.5. It was never a real 4.5 at that point. This is all like around last night and midnight. Goes back to 4 again, not a legit 4. Back to 4.5. So there was a point where it was 4.5 +102 to the over and -117 to the under. Right now it's under 4.5 -120. So I take that as really no movement on the first 5. Whether it be 4 or 4.5. Take it away, TJ. Your plan.
Yeah, so obviously I got that -115. I'm good with that. But I want to talk about the Cardinals offense just a little bit. I'm going to move this over here so it looks like I'm looking at the screen. So their last 7 days, they've obviously been struggling, and that's a really small sample size. But let's talk about the right-handed pitchers that they faced in those 7 days. Hunter Green, 1 run. Carson Spires, 1 run. Frankie Montez, 1 run. Renato Lopez, 2 runs. Right? So yeah, Lopez has been really good, but Montez, Spires, and Green, those guys are all hittable, especially those are at home. I apologize for that, for Cincinnati. But the last 7 days, second to worst in baseball in weighted runs created plus OPS and WOBA. Full season on the road, they're bottom 10, actually bottom 8. offense on the road there. And then, like I said, those last 5 righties to start against them have a 2.28 combined ERA and a 0.98 WHIP. And one of the biggest reasons I think that Jones is going to be fine here is he's got a strikeout rate of nearly 27%. The Cardinals are the worst team in baseball against pitchers with a strikeout rate over 24%. Dead last in their expected earned runs and dead last in WHIP. So the pitchers that strike him out really do well. You look at Jared Jones at home, I know he got beat up a little bit at Colorado. I'm going to give him a pass for that. But in his 3 previous starts, ERA of 2 with a 1.17 WHIP. All season at home, 2.2 ERA, 1.06 WHIP. And then you look at his pitch mix, he throws 50% four-seam fastballs and about 36% sliders. And the Cardinals against those pitches are 27th and 20th ranked in baseball. So I think it's safe to say I can at least get 5 innings out of Jared Jones of solid work, 1, maybe 2 runs at most. Now we go to Pittsburgh. We know they have a horrible offense. The last 14 days, dead last in baseball at home. Sorry, the last 30 days at home, dead last in baseball. Second to last on the full season at home. So I don't think we can expect much of that to change. Michaelis against him, as Jose touched on a little bit, but even going back to his last 3 starts, he's averaging 6 inning pitched, 2.04 ERA and a 1.1 WHIP. And that's right in line with what he's doing on the road lately. He held Houston to 2 runs over 6 innings, 1 run pitching into the 7th against the Cubs. So he's pitched a lot better on the road than at home. And then you go to his pitch mix too, which I think is an important stat a lot of people don't look at. 78% of his pitches are sliders, fastballs, sinkers. And on the season, the Pirates are 30th, 21st, and 19th against those pitches. So I think everything lines up just for both pitchers to shove here. And that's why the first 5 under is my look. I don't want to trust the bullpens for the full game. So just a lot of data that just points to offenses being terrible and both pitchers shoving.
Yeah, and they have, obviously, well, not obviously, but Jones has not faced the Cardinals, so there's nothing there. And then Michaelis, has pretty decent numbers, against everybody but Reynolds and Rock and Rowdy Tellez. Interesting. Jose Bouquet, your plan?
Yeah, I think I'll just join TJ on the first 5 under. I was just trying to decide full game or first 5 here. The Cardinals.
Oh, all right.
He gone.
Looks like we lost young Jose Bouquet, who sounded like he was going to join him. I think this makes sense to me, your breakdown here. It was just a skip start for Jared Jones, and you're right, he's pitching at home. So, we got Jose back in business. Jose, are you back? Oh, no, we have lost Jose. Okay. Big O, by the way, moving here on Wimbledon. There's our guy who banging sports talk, DJ Big Boss in the house, whom we love dearly. We love dearly here, and he did give us a thirst for older women. It's TJ now not all take us to the next level, but he did give us a thirst for older women, and we do need to add some new ones here. I don't know if she qualifies as older. Jose, do you count her as an older woman?
Their surgery does a lot of things for a lot of people.
No, you're right. Jose, you were talking about that first 5 under. Take it away.
Yeah, first 5 under, I'm going to join you, TJ. The bullpens were used up a little bit yesterday. I expect Hensley to be able to go today if needed, but he threw 17 pitches yesterday, and I just would rather have my bullpens fresh and ready to go. So first 5 under, joining you there with you. 4.5, I've got minus 123.
Wow, and this is another spot where I'm, just it feels like 365 a little late moving this one because it's 5 cents better than it is at Pinnacle, which is a rarity. So I'm going to get the same number that TJ tweeted out, which surprises me. I'm going to lock this in.
Do it now because
yeah,
4.5 is starting to get juiced under really quick.
I'm gonna
Bet
do.
the
I'm
line
gonna
just
lock
moved it.
this
Yeah.
in now, Jose. This next game is such an interesting cap that I really want to be involved in, and I almost moved on to pregame. So I'm going to be listening intently to Jose's setup here for Mets Nationals. TJ, you skip a game and then you have the next two in a row, so don't leave. Let's have you here for this because TJ has got best bets on Reds Yankees. And then Astros Blue Jays, and Astros Blue Jays will be a four-headed monster because Daby Cab will be with us as well. So Jose, great lead in to the last game. Do it again here with Mets Nats. I'm going to move on this right now.
You're muted, buddy.
Fucking muted. God damn it. I'm having a hell of a show to start this off. Mets Nationals. Shout out to Morgan Spooner. We've talked about the regression monster many a times and how, the Mets, sure, they're really good against lefties right now. And sure, full season, they're really good as well. But they're hitting them like really, really good. Like almost to a point that it's, unsustainable. Sure, they score 5 runs in the 10th inning. But, and actually I'm looking at the wrong day, right? No, I am looking at the right day. They was thinking of the Astros, I guess, that scored those 5 runs the other day. But they score 5 runs in the 10th inning. But DJ Hurts pitched well, lefty. So it's an interesting thing there. So just be aware. I can still give you the Mets numbers against lefties. And even if I shorten them to just like the last 2 weeks, I guess, from the 23rd, not even 2 weeks, I guess week and a half, 23rd to the 7th or to today, the Mets will still be 135 weighted runs created plus. Very good. But I just would say proceed with caution because, again, Mitchell Parker has been one of my guys throughout the year that I've backed. I like him a lot. I think he's a very good lefty. And I've said at this point several times about how I think the Nationals put so much resources into bringing back Patrick Corbin that there was a trickle-down effect and made all these other lefties pretty good. His last start, 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs against Tampa Bay. At Colorado, 6 innings, 4 earned runs, not bad. And against the Miami Marlins, who we know can't hit lefties, he did what they do. 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run there. So I respect Mitchell Parker enough to not fade him here and go with the Mets. On the other side, Christian Scott, we've seen him a few times now in the majors. He's being brought back up here, which is always interesting. He didn't pitch poorly when he was up. He had 5 starts, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs. He kind of got touched up against the Marlins and the Braves, but overall just had pretty decent numbers. And now they've brought him back up in the minor leagues, by the way, while he was down there. He had 4 starts, and all of them were good. All 1 earned run, 5 innings, 1 earned run, 4 innings, 1 earned run, basically the whole time as well. So, maybe if you can stomach betting another under here, you can consider it with 98% of the bets and money on the under in this, on the over in this game. This is a 8.5 bet online and has not moved. It was juiced to the over minus 118, now minus 120, but really not much movement at all at bet online, even with all that money on the over, which is not really surprising. It does make me more interested in the under, excuse me there, but 75% of the bets and 70% of the money on the Metropolitans here, and this was a minus 130 line going up to minus 134. So again, very limited movement. Actually, now up to minus 142. Got to refresh my site again to keep these line movements fresh because these things move quickly here. So this will move to minus 142. Think about like 30 minutes ago, actually. So it is moving kind of briskly now towards the Mets. But again, I respect Mitchell Parker enough to not fade him here. Maybe it's another situation where the Nationals bullpen implodes on them again, but I can easily see both these guys having a good start. First 5 under was semi-interesting. And by the way, just so everyone, we're on the same page, first 5 line movement here was a minus 115 to the over, 4.5, now minus 113. to the over. So yeah, first 5 under, I wouldn't hate in this game either, but I don't have any action thus far. TJ, thoughts?
Yeah, this would have been a play for me if the line had not moved. I bet the Mets at -123 as soon as I saw it this morning. I will continue to ride the Mets. I bet them every game for, I don't know, going on 10, 11 games. I'm not going to try to catch a falling knife there. I mean, Washington has to score to win, right? Last night they should have won the game, but they couldn't get 3 runs. Against righties, they have the lowest hard hit percentage in baseball, the lowest barrel percentage in baseball over the last 30 games, one of the highest ground ball rates in baseball over the last 30 games, right? I know their batting average is okay, their on base percentage is okay, but it's all singles and they don't drive each other in. So they have to get on, they have to steal second, which you saw them try to do yesterday in extras. And then I know that the Mets got held down, by Hurts there. But against left-handed pitching, we've talked about it for days. They're obviously crushing. And what did they do in extra innings against what was his name, Garcia, lefty? They just rocked him. So I'm not going to stop doing something that's been profitable until it's not profitable. So that was a no-brainer for me. First bet I made today.
That makes sense. This is a much different line than we saw yesterday. I think that this is more appealing because Mitchell Parker's being, so good at home and so good against lefties. I had no concern fading Scooball. None. 0 against the Twins on Tuesday. And I don't see why I would have any concern fading Parker. The Clark Edge says the shady line's been cashing like crazy yesterday. Mets. Look, TJ, I was right about the Mets yesterday. I was right. Look, I didn't move on it, and you guys who were on the Mets, you got paid. But that line was, people were, it was set up so that they would take all Mets money, and the Mets did nothing against Hurts. And I don't know how much they do against Mitchell Parker here, but I think that the angle isn't Mets versus lefties. The angle's more the Nats can't hit. The Mets have advantages, whether it be the bullpen, whether it be, Mets versus lefties, Nats versus righties, littered throughout this game. I think the Mets have advantages. So, and I don't mind. Now, the line moved in the Mets direction, pretty heavy yesterday. But this opens up with them at -126, as a clear favorite. I mean, don't forget, TJ got the Mets at +104 yesterday. I mean, that's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And that's just, to me, that's, and you made it through, and I love it. I want you to get paid.
And I mean, at -120, -125, I definitely like the Mets a lot, a lot more. I should say a lot more than -140. I would definitely be more interested there as well. And yeah, you're right, TJ. I mean, I've been on the Mets quite a few times as well. I haven't been betting them every day, but like you're right. They've just been one of the best hitting teams in baseball for the last 2 weeks. And by the way, I don't know why JD Martinez wasn't in the lineup yesterday. I don't know if it was injury related or what. I'm sure there's a Mets fan in the chat that can let us know. But obviously, he's very good. We need him in the lineup. But let us know about that as well.
Yeah, I don't have any info on that one. I just don't think we can focus on the starters and we can focus on the bullpens, but in the end, you have to score runs to win games. And I just don't trust the Nats to get more than 3.
I probably agree with that. And by the way, Jimmy, this is one of your favorite spots. A guy gets pulled down after starting in the majors for a while and then gets called up again. This is his chance to, strut his stuff, win a spot here, etc. Maybe not familiarly the same, but
the difference is that he wasn't pitching badly.
Yeah.
I prefer that because then everybody sees the 5.7 ERA and the 1.4 WHIP and fade him. So the Christian Scott, remember the Mets had a bunch of off days. They had so many off days where they weren't going to need 5 pitchers going. That was the reason why he was sent down. That's what they claim was the reason that they sent him down. Morgan Spooner says left ankle soreness for JD Martinez. Chris Mack backing that up. Okay, so I'm gonna bet the Mets on the -1 line. Again, I don't care if I push and you guys cash. That just doesn't concern me at all. I need to keep VIG down to a minimum, and I should have moved on this earlier, but I did want to talk it out. I find this way, way more appealing than yesterday. Because yesterday you had Hurts, who we knew was better than his numbers indicated. Today we have Mitchell Parker, who everybody sees is the ace of the Nat staff, and he's magic at home. And they're bigger favorite. Like this is way, way, way more appealing for me here. Okay, so let's set up this next spot for TJ, and then we have Daby Cab and TJ in our next game. So I've moved on the Reds first 5 plus a half at plus 102 in this one. Gerald Jones has given us the over 8.5. Cincinnati Reds 40-45, 20-22 on the road to the Yankees, 54-33, 24-15 at home. Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. And let me just say this again. I cannot believe the Orioles are still plus money to win the division. I can't believe it. Like, I cannot believe it. When I look at these rosters, when I watch these teams play every day, I mean, to me, there's a clear favorite. Like, a clear as day, but I'm happy to get the plus 140, plus 110 right now at 360.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yep.
It's just look at that line. I mean, okay, let's move on to the weather. 79 Fahrenheit, 12.9 miles per hour, right to left, very slightly in. Stays between 12.9 and 11 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have the Yanks at minus 178. That's really where this has been. It's been within 10 cents nonstop, but we have the 1 cent move to the Cincinnati Reds. Let's get to the total here in this one. From a total standpoint, we have an 8.5. This is juiced to the over. This did have a cup of coffee at 9, I believe. Did it not? Yes, it did. It wasn't a real 9. Around 10 a.m. I got juiced so much that they put it up to 9, minus 119 to the under. So overall, though, there's been a 7 cent move to the over and a 1 cent move to the Reds. The weather. Oh, we did the weather Yankee. Let's go to the cash flow. Cash flow in this spot. 87% of tickets, 88% of the cash on the Yankees. And on the total, we have 97% of tickets and 96% cash on the over. We have 2 lefties on the mound. One is, in my estimation, pitching better and better. And the other, we're just watching him struggle here. And it's not that Carlos Rodon can't bounce back, but he's now having multiple ugly starts. Last one, he let the Jays hit him, get 10 hits off him, 2 jacks, 8 earned runs. At home, his numbers are better than they are on the road. 3.86 ERA, 235 opponent's batting average. But at this point now, the only thing the Yankees have over the Reds, in my estimation, maybe I'm just putting them down too low, is Soto and Judge. That's it. So I still want to cut it down to 5 innings because they're clearly the best 2 bats. I mean, by far the best, maybe the best 2 bats in the league. I mean, I'm sure Ohtani would have something to say about that, but that's why I moved it to 5, because I have the Reds bullpen far better than the Yankees bullpen in June and the beginning of July. The Reds are raking lefties, 292, 781 OPS, while the Yankees are just 239, 746 OPS. And Andrew Abbott, I think there's an advantage on the mound for the Reds. 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 2 Ks, 6 walks, an 11-4 win at the Cardinals. A 3.48 ERA on the road, 208 opponent's batting average. I can't believe I was offered plus money with the plus a half, first 5 for the Reds. Take it away for us. A shout out to Razor Sharp Picks, man. Thank you for jumping with us, my man. Go get that cash today. Von Polo on Cincinnati. Professor Chris says his model is the Yankees minus 173, so no bet for him. Billy Friedrich says, I think Rodon shoves today. I just don't think this is the right lineup for him to shove against. They're smashing lefties. Let's hear TJ's best bet. And then, Jose, take it right. Take over the hosting part, unless I have a question to ask, because I'm going to get my Mets bet in while we're breaking this down. So, and Justin McKelvey says he's behind because his dog just bit his neighbor. That'll happen. Still on the Cardinals breakdown. That'll happen. Justin, great to have you back. Take it away, TJ, best bet.
Yeah, I'm with you there. This is not my best bet for the show, but I did bet Cincinnati +1 full game because I think they get to Rodon. But my best bet for the show is going to focus on the first 5 here. And like you, I don't see any sign that Rodon's going to turn it around. I think he's probably dealing with some fatigue. Started the season well. He's an older guy, and he's just in a downward spiral. I mean, he's given up 8, 7, and 5 his last 3 games. To 2 of those were offenses that are really, really bad. Atlanta. They're one of the worst offenses versus – oh, I'm sorry. They're okay versus lefties. I take that back. But yeah, 8, 7, and 5. His pitch mix, the Reds are middle of the pack to above average against his pitch mix. And then the most concerning thing for me, if I'm backing the Reds here, or if I'm fading the Yankees, is that versus righties, the Rodon's given up a 1.28 WHIP, 4.52 xFIP, and a 344 WOBA. So he's got some splits. Righties are getting to him, and you potentially have 9 righties in the lineup today for Cincinnati. You got 2 switch hitters and then all those righties. They're very righty heavy. So the last 30 days on the road, Cincinnati's a top 5 offense. The last, like you said, 14 and 30 days versus left-handers are crushing them. So I think Cincinnati gets theirs, but I also think the Yankees get theirs too. I don't have as much faith in Abbott in this one. I do like him as a pitcher, but the Yankees really struggled when Rizzo and Stanton went down. The league's like, well, we just don't have to pitch to Soto and Judge, and what are you going to do about it? But the rest of the guys, Volpe's starting to hit a little better. They're starting to turn it around a little bit better. They got to Kikuchi the other day for 4 runs in 5 innings. And so you look at Abbott, and he's got terrible splits versus righties as well. He's so much better against lefties, which is normal. But, the Yankees could send 7, 6, probably 7 righties out there. And probably the most concerning part is that he throws 55% fastballs, and the Yankees are number 5, not only on the season, but last 30 against the fastball. Judge home run. I'm not a home run prop better. I don't think the odds are ever worth it, but if I was going to bet one today, it'd be Judge to hit one out. I think both offenses go early. I trust Cincinnati pen late. So I'm on the first 5 over 4.5 here. I think it's minus 115-ish. The other thing is both pitchers have 2 of the highest fly ball rates going today in the league. So you got the short porch. You got 2 guys that give up a lot of fly balls. I think that's going to equal runs, and it's something to consider too.
Yeah, that is appealing. What was the cash flow on the over? The cash flow 97 and 96. I get it, Jose.
But
What?
Just first 5 over for me.
And I will line shop here for this. Jose, take it away.
Yeah, so I mean, I want to fade the Yankees here too. I really do. Last time out, I said, or it was against the Blue Jays, actually. I said this was Rodon's final stand for me. If he doesn't pitch well, then I'm just not going to believe him anymore. And he got crushed by the Blue Jays. So, yeah, I want the Reds here as well. And I think this will be my dog shot of the day, I guess. I mean, yesterday, unfortunately, a pitching change took my Diamondbacks bets out. I know, Jimmy, by the way, that's top 5 worst text you've ever sent me. Right there. That was in the top 5. That really hurt my feelings. Though they lost 6-5, it really hurt my feelings still. But I like the Reds here today, and I will take them. I just need to, again, determine the almighty question is always first 5 or full game for these bets. Bullpen wise, real quick, let's go over it. Luke Weaver, 30 pitches yesterday. He's not going. Caleb Ferguson, 20. Tommy Canley and Jake Cousins all through yesterday. 16 pitches for Cousins and Canley. I expect everyone except for Weaver to be available today. And Clay Holmes hasn't thrown since Saturday. So fresh Yankees bullpen will probably just end up being on a first 5 as well. And Jimmy, you said you had a plus a half. That's plus money. I mean, that's very appealing. I mean, how is that not? So plus 108 for me.
Don't forget the Yankees bullpen. They may be fresh, but they're the worst bullpen in baseball of the last 14 and 30.
They've been so bad.
They're so bad.
I just wonder when that's going to change. I think it will, and I agree wholeheartedly. It's been hilarious to watch Clay Holmes and company shit all over their pants.
It's been a big surprise to see them do that. Okay, I got in on the Mets -1 at -111. Unfortunately, I could have got -109 at 365, but it moved while I was betting it. So that's okay. Let's put in that Pinnacle. Mikey Money in the house. Red Girl in the house. The over 4.5 -110 at Bookmaker. Can we beat that anywhere? Let me just quickly check for this first 5 over for
Yeah, and by the way, I think I am going to add a team total over in this game as well. Shout to Nut Flush. I made the team total bet Nut Flush. It got canceled out. I can't do much more, unfortunately, than that. But I'll take the team total here as well. You're right, -125. It's not my favorite, again, taking these juice team totals, but I will ride nonetheless. 3.5s are always just very appealing to me.
Are you worried that the Yankees? Are you worried the Yankees don't get theirs? Because you could get less juice just taking the full game over.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'd be more concerned because, ideally, in our ideal world for all of us Reds backers here, Andrew Abbott goes 5 shutty.
Yeah.
We got the Sweaty Butcher in the house, DC Capper as well, Truth Teller ready to get to work, Mikey, Money, Nut Flush, Allen. So we got TJ with the Reds first 5 over 4.5 at -110. And then Jose, you moved on the Reds first 5.
Yep, first 5 plus a half, 108, plus 108, and team total over.
Wow, you got a better line than me on the. So the line's moving towards the Yankees. Wow, that is a.
Yeah, bet online is plus 108.
Yeah, and then -125 for the team total over. 3.5.
Wow, it's moved a cent at Pinnacle. But plus 108, that's a really nice number there. Really,
by
really
the
nice
way,
number.
Yeah. By the way, I will just say that Cincinnati, obviously very pitcher-friendly ballpark, hitter-friendly ballpark, the exact opposite. A lot of pitchers hate pitching there. Rodon has pitched there once, and he went 5 1/3, 7 hits, 3 earned runs there, and a home run. 5-1 loss there, and with the Giants in 2022. So just need to make that note of we're actually in New York, so never mind.
Yeah, we're in the Bronx.
So never mind.
Also hitter-friendly.
Also very hitter-friendly, yeah. Okay,
so I'll take 3.5 still.
We are going. Oh, so you are moving on the team total?
Yeah, no, I'm still on it. Yeah, 3.5 -125.
Reds team total over 3.5. Why did you not find that team total appealing, TJ?
Personally, I would rather just have
both.
I'd rather have both offenses, and I'm never one to take a team total and an over and guessing on which total. I think either offense can go big here. Sure, Abbott can shove. I lose my bet. Team total wins. I think it's a higher likelihood both teams get runs.
And Mikey Money says that the Yankees under 8.5 is very high on the board for him. So we're locked in. I'm just going to leave it as is for me. Jose got 6 cents better than me on the first 5 plus. I thought the plus 102 was a steal. An absolute steal. I really did. I'm shocked that you could find 6 cents better. Jose's on the Reds team total over 3.5 as well. TJ on the Reds first 5 over 4.5. We are locked and loaded. Let's welcome our next guest. We're going 4-headed monster for our next guest. We have a big one in the Rogers Centre, Toronto, Ontario. Big for the Astros. The Blue Jays have given up, which is great. Great. We're going to get paid for our max bet on the season win total under, plus money on that under 87.5 wins. Who thought they were going to have a good season this year? Please welcome from Dallas, Texas, the star of Medicate Mondays. Please welcome Dabra Kadabra, the Magic Man in the house. Dabby, how are you?
Good. Glad to be back in here. Happy to be where the internet
is. You're in your house.
Yeah, in air conditioning. It's nice. Not sitting in the sun. My phone's not going to overheat. Ready to get paid here. Hey, don't look now. 3.5 games out of first place. Astros are going to fuck around and catch them before the All-Star break. I was wrong. My prediction was too generous.
Yes, but that was a tough loss last night. They still 43 and 42. We gotta. I would like them to get there quicker than this. The Mariners still concern me because the Mariners, if they get a couple key bats, they're going to be a good looking squad.
Yeah,
now
it's the same story every year though.
Yeah, and they pinch pennies over there, so I don't know if it's going to work out. But let's get to work here. We got best bets from TJ and Dabra Kadabra. Houston Astros 43 and 42, 19 and 23 on the road. At the Toronto Blue Jays 39 and 46, 21 and 22 at home. We're at the Rogers Centre in Toronto, Ontario. Let's start with the weather in Toronto. 80 Fahrenheit, 10.2 miles per hour, left to right, slightly out. Then it becomes just left to right, dies down to 8.5 miles per hour. Beautiful, beautiful night here in Toronto. Let's get into the line history for this one. I got the first 5 up, so why don't we just take a look at the first 5 total here right now. It's at 4.5, juice to the under. I opened up minus 114 to the under, and then there was a big move to the over. At 4:17 in the morning, this was plus money to the under 4.5 and heavily juiced to the over. And that lasted until 10 this morning when there was a move back to the under. So confusing U-shaped movement there. From a full game spot, we have this at 8.5, minus 111 to the under. And this got up to 9. This got up to 9 just once. Got up to 9 and stayed at 9, not for long, for 20 minutes or so, back to 8.5. And then it went down to 8. Got to 8 at 10:55 a.m. And this wasn't a fake 8. This was a real 8, just minus 112 to the over at that point. So overall, we've had no movement, 2 cents of movement to the over, but a lot of movement to finalize, to get there. From a money line standpoint on the full game, we have the Astros at minus 112. They opened up at plus 103. 15 cents of movement towards Ronel Blanco and the Houston Astros. DC Capper on the Astros. Rocco Rogers on the Astros. Andrew G says the Cooch needs to shove and increase his trade bait value. Billy Friedrich looking at Bregman total bases over. And we got LJ from Houston in the house. He is Blanco has a 2.36 ERA on the road. Yes, 42 strikeouts in 42 innings. And on the road, 187 opponents batting average. He's been great this year. Kikuchi just got touched for 4 earned runs and 16-5 loss at home versus the Yankees. He has a 4.30 ERA and a 249 opponents batting average at home. Hasn't found that domination at home. And we have the Astros versus lefties, 298, 780 OPS since June 1st. Jays are not hitting righties, 237, 689 OPS. And the Astros bullpen, another distinct advantage for them over the Jays, allowing 1.28 runs less over 9 innings than the Blue Jays. Let's take a look at the cash flow here for this spot. You have 91% of tickets, 88% cash on the over. On the money line, you have 47% of tickets, but 93% of the cash on the Houston Astros. Gifted Cartel says Jose called it yesterday. Astros today here. So, and Not Flush Allen says if you didn't give it to me preseason on the future bets, then you were not allowed to talk about it. I didn't message you about it, but I certainly told everybody here on the show about it. But I apologize. Not Flush. I will make sure that you are involved in these slam dunk spots. So Daby Cab, best bet number 1 for you, Astros, Blue Jays. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I know you say you want it quicker, but I mean, they've won, 10 out of their last 12 or 10 out of their last 13 games, and the Mariners have lost their last 3. I mean, shit, I think the Astros were 28 and 36 at one point. So, I mean, to be sitting here at 43 and 42, I know we got to get going. Like, it's nothing's comfortable yet, but that's a hell of a turnaround. And I want to say, Jimmy, it's plus 140 now to win the division. What did you get in on that at?
Plus 375.
Okay. So, I mean, I know we want it there quicker, but we're making ends. We're making ends. And I think the Astros are going to keep going. Blanco's been that guy for him this year. I know he had a tough outing last time out against the Mets, but you're going into a buzzsaw there. I was shocked the Astros were able to win 2 out of 3 there. They had to put up a hell of a lot of runs to do it. They were going up against a ton of momentum that the Mets are riding right now, and they came out with 2 wins. So, I'm going to kind of give Blanco the pass on that start. And even though he gave up 6 runs in that game, I think only 3 of them were earned. But he was pitching in and out of danger. He had bases loaded in the first inning and only gave up 1 run. There was just a lot of situations where it could have imploded and been even worse. But even with that, 2.49 ERA on the season, 1.10 whip, his numbers are still fantastic. And without him, imagine where the Astros would be right now without him. He's been their go-to guy. I think they get behind him tonight, just like they have all season, and they win another game that they know they need to win. Kikuchi and the Astros have a lot of history. Now it goes back, I want to say, I don't have it in front of me, but I want to say all the way back to like the fucking COVID year, because, when he was with Seattle, but Kikuchi's been somebody that these Astros have a ton of at-bats against. Let me see. I got the numbers here somewhere. I think they have 84 at-bats against Kikuchi.
I got it at I got it at 99 plate appearances, 300 average, and a 1.07 OPS.
Yep. There we go. Yep, exactly. So you heard it right here. Those are the numbers for the current Astros against Kikuchi. And the only thing that worries me a little bit is that the line's as low as it is, but it is moving towards the Astros. So I like that. I think the Astros stay hot here. I'm not going to get, cute and go first 5 or anything. I'm just going to take the Astros full game money line here.
Yeah, makes sense. Did you tweet this out?
I did not. No.
Okay, we'll line shop for you. It makes sense. Now, this is just flashbacks of yesterday with the Mets. And also, though, this is a little different because who is betting the Jays? How could 53% of the tickets come in on the Jays? How, the books put Astros at plus money against this soft hitting Blue Jay squad. Everybody and their mama would bet the Astros. That's my only concern, is this just looks too easy. So Daby Cab, I'm in the line shop for you. TJ, take it away. Astros Jays.
Yeah, this flies into the I don't give a what the spread is. Bet that I am blanking on his name for basketball.
Shout out to Durrell.
Our guy Durrell.
There you go, Durrell. Yep, shout out to Durrell. I mean, look at who the Astros have faced. Also, they got to Crochet for 3 runs, but 9 hits. Right, they got to Skewball for 4 runs. They faced some okay lefties, but those two, nobody's hitting those guys. I know we were confident on the Twins yesterday, but Crochet's been unhittable. These guys, we can give out all the Astros numbers against lefties, which is interesting because they started the season very bad against lefties, and they've already worked their way right up there. Kikuchi, just in his last 3 starts since 2021 against this team, he's got an 11 ERA, 3.4 home runs per 9. You can go even back further to his last 7. I don't typically factor that a ton, but he saw them a lot when he was with Seattle, and his ERA is over 8 with a whip around 2. I'm not going to sign up for that. And I don't know how this Toronto lineup gets to Blanco here. He's great against righties. Toronto's going to throw 6, probably 7 righties out there. He's been excellent of late. He like Cabby said, only 3 earned runs going into the 6th against the Mets. That's not a bad start. And then 1 against Baltimore, over 7 innings, shuts out Detroit over 7, 1 at San Francisco. Those are all very good starts. His pitch mix, the Blue Jays don't hit fastballs. They're 23rd in baseball. He throws that 40% of the time. He's faced them twice, 1.20 ERA and a 0.6 whip. I saw this at plus money yesterday, and I put a little on it because I didn't want to move anything. And then I wanted to wait and watch the game and see who Toronto used, see who Houston used. And that game couldn't have worked out better for today's bet. So I didn't tweet it out, but I'm clearly on Houston money line here, pretty big. If this wasn't for show purposes, I don't want something bad to happen and I lose 4 bets. But if I wasn't, I would take Astros team total over. I'd take Astros first 5. I'd take Astros full game. I just think, and Cabby and I don't talk
the second half of the season, TJ.
Yeah, Cabby and I don't talk about this stuff, so it's interesting. It's always funny when we come on with the same play or correlated plays, and they've done really well when that happens. So confidently on the Astros here.
Yeah, every single stat, from bullpens to starting pitcher to lineup to every single thing leads the Astros. So then why the hell did they open up his dogs? Jose, your plan here.
I kind of want to be the asshole. I kind of want to be the asshole because this seems so easy. The Astros, they smashed Kikuchi, Ronald Blanco, no hit these guys earlier in the season. It seems so easy. I just don't want to bet the Astros here with, and I was shocked, by the way, to see the same thing you were shocked to see. 53% of the bets on the Toronto Blue Jays still. That is who's betting them?
Kelly McKinnon says it's just a bunch of Canadians, hammered up still from Canada Day, just betting the Jays each and every day. Look, I would much rather just cheer you guys on in this one and not put my money down on it. Okay, let me ask you this, Jose. Could you give me any explanation of how the Astros could open up his dogs? Is it because they're 19 and 23 on the road?
No, I think that Ronald Blanco is a fade in the second half. I think he had a great first half, and then I think he's going to fall off. But that I couldn't tell you why, really. I think Kikuchi is a good pitcher. He hasn't faced the Astros in 2 years, I believe it is, since 2022. And, obviously, like you guys have mentioned, he's been fucking destroyed in all those starts. But after 2022, he kind of became a new pitcher. He kind of really found his shit and was really good. So sure, I understand all these numbers, all these stats, Astros, but for me, I think this is a Toronto spot, and I'm going to pass. And it's funny because Troy saying the database is some fuckery in this spot too. I mean, I have the note right here. Don't bet home dogs plus 120 to minus 102. This is a home dog in that range. Honestly, if I were to bet this game, if I had to gun to head make a bet in this game, I'm betting the under. First five, like Top Set said, perhaps. Thinking that Kikuchi can go out here and surprise a lot of people and shove.
Well, Kikuchi's no crochet or skewball. I can give a little bit of an explanation, Jimmy. Sure. Right? If you look at Kikuchi's, we'll just say Kuchi for the purposes of the show. Last 5 starts, right? He only had 1, which ironically enough, he allowed 0 earned runs in that game against Milwaukee, where his xFIP was over 4.5. His xFIP and all the rest of those games indicate very bad luck. I mean, 1.82 at the Yankees, he gave up 4. 2.18 Boston, he gave up 5. Like the surface stats look bad. The underlying stats in those games are okay. And kind of the opposite is true for Blanco, right? His xFIP's been up over 5 in 3 of his last 5 starts, even with good results. So you could say regression, positive and negative, are coming for these guys. But I'm a stats-based capper, man. If the market influences me, sure, it might keep me off something. But I mean, what are we at? 16 cents of movement? That market's respecting it.
Yeah, but to me, it's the opening line. It's not the movement; it's the opening line.
This is that supercomputers thing that we talk about. Why would these assholes do that? I don't know.
Well, let's go back to this expectation of Kikuchi to pitch okay, which isn't something that the statistics, with his xFIP are kind of leaning you towards, but you think that it doesn't matter. The Astros will get to him.
If they were playing a middle of the pack team, yeah, I might consider it more. But these Astros crush lefties, man.
And with Skubal, that was at home. Who was the other pitcher that you mentioned?
Crochet.
Was that at home or in Chicago? That was in Chicago.
That was in Chicago.
Yeah. And the first 5, has been sitting. Did you have any interest in that first 5 under?
No.
Because
Astros get 4 or 5 in the first 5 easily. I mean, that's what I consider in the realm of the possible.
Astros pound Kikuchi's coochie, baby.
That's right.
All right. TJ and Cab
look like idiots here. I don't know.
No, look, every single stat except for the advanced numbers, that show that Kikuchi is being unlucky and that Blanco is going to regress. Every single other stat would lead you towards hammering the Astros. I get it, and I will cheer you guys on. I'm going to stay off of this spot. TJ and Cab both on the Astros at minus 111. And, if this was minus 150, if this opened up at minus 125, I'd be on the Astros minus 1.
What's funny, though, to play towards what TJ said, and as much as I hyped up Blanco, I wouldn't be on it at minus 150. He walks too many people. He tiptoes in and out of stuff. I think he's a good pitcher, and I don't expect like a ton of regression, but there will be. I wouldn't at minus 150. I don't know if I'd be as comfortable backing him.
And Joey Marinaccio says Bet Online open this up at minus 117 here. Let's get over there. So, which means there must have been
I had Bet Online opening up, and I think
minus 109. I have.
Yeah, and then but that was in 2 hours that completely flipped to minus 111 Blue Jays.
Yeah.
But when that happens, I always feel like there's some fuckery in that as well. But
I bet him on Bet Online at plus 101 yesterday.
I bet
Small.
minus
It's
109,
small,
but I
but-
didn't tweet it out.
Joey, where do you see it saying minus 117 as the opening line at Bet Online? Because I'd be interested if this site was wrong. I've got minus.
I don't use the site you use, and I don't see them at 117.
Yeah, I've got minus 109 opener, moved to plus 101 at 423. Okay, but please, Joey, can you let me know where the what site? You can DM me too if you don't want to promote it. But I'd be interested to see how I could, okay, use live odds. It's pretty good because there's nowhere. Okay, well, we can deal with that later. Okay, and Professor Chris says conflicting market numbers as well. Look, this might be just a very easy casher for you guys, and I hope that's the case. TJ and Cab, both on the Astros at minus 111. Let's review TJ's action. He's given us the Astros at minus 111. He's given us the Reds first 5 over 4.5 at minus 110. He has stayed off the Mets Washington spot. Oh, but you already, is that right? Did you?
Yeah, I bet Mets on the opener, but not for the show.
Okay.
The numbers move too much.
And then we have the first 5 under 4.5 for TJ. TJ, excellent work, my friend. Thank you for rocking with us. Following in Daby Cab's college basketball footsteps, currently 62.2%. Now we've got a long season to go, but TJ has been delivering 28 and 17 plus 10 units, ROI plus 22.22%, average line minus 109. TJ, thank you for all your hard work, my man. And we will be in touch. Can't wait to have you back. Hopefully you can come back and join us this week.
Can I get 30 seconds to talk about something in the chat or something that I think is good for everyone to know?
Yes,
I'm not going to promote a book, right? But I will promote an exchange, and I'm not affiliated. I just bet on it, right? Brothrow, BROTHROW. It's a peer-to-peer. If you go and look at the books and it's minus 110 on both sides, you're gonna get it at plus 100, and you're just betting to get somebody else straight up. And there's all kinds of, if you only want to bet $5, if you want to bet $3.50 a game, it's everywhere in between, and you just pay up the next day on Venmo or PayPal. Anyways, check it out. I found it. I think it's a lot of fun.
Respect.
Yeah,
Thank you, TJ, my man. And we will be in touch. Hopefully we can get you back this week. Boss, at what time does Wager Talk say that line opened at? Because I'll have the time there as well. So we'd like to know at what time. Dabra Kadabra, you are back in business with us for Phillies Cubs, and that's your last spot on the board. So why don't you stick with us here for the Giants Braves breakdown? Let's get into it. 7:20 p.m. Eastern. We have the San Francisco Giants 42 and 44, 17 and 25 on the road at the Atlanta Braves, 46 and 37, 26 and 15 at home. We're at Truist Park in Atlanta. Let's get into the weather there. 91 Fahrenheit, feels like 96, 7.8 miles per hour in, between 7.8 and 6.7 miles per hour. I mean, if the big bear Ozuna doesn't hit, this lineup does zilch. It was very frustrating being on the Braves -1 yesterday. They got the bird song for 2 runs in the second inning, back-to-back jacks. I'm sitting there thinking I'm in business, and the offense just not delivering. Ron Crawford at San Francisco is a dog play, not the play of the day, but a dog play. And Billy Friedrich says Hicks is a must fade in some form or fashion. So Hicks versus Chris Sale, 11:43 a.m. yesterday. Wow. Interesting. I've never seen a time slot for 11:43 a.m. yesterday from BetOnline, which would mean that BetOnline would have their lines open for tomorrow right now, at least for some games. Jose, does BetOnline have any action for tomorrow up?
It typically does open up these games super early, but no, not yet.
I've never seen 11:43 a.m. I mean, it's always 2 o'clock, 1, 2 o'clock.
I think it typically starts like right around when the games start.
Boss, I don't want to say something negative about that site, but let me just say I don't believe it. I'll just leave it at that. Truist Park in Atlanta. Yeah, they don't put out their lines 11:30. But whatever. Topset says I am backing. Oh, different time zone there. So it didn't open up at 2:43. And there's Noli Nose in the house. Look at that.
Wow.
Does anybody else bring a smile to your face like seeing Noli? No, maybe DJ Big Boss. Maybe Wham Bam. Noli knows in the chat. Maybe Lily Gunn. Noli, no. Yeah, so, I mean, the line just didn't come out of that number from all the sites that I've looked at, but it is what it is. It's all good. But I do think that's a big, it will change your thought process with that stuff. Noli knows with the skull and bones here in Hotlanta for Jordan Hicks, Chris Sale. The Giants are smashing lefties, 308, 878 OPS since June 1st, going up against Chris Sale, who's been so good, coming off that 7 innings, just one solo shot, 11 strikeouts, 1 walk at the White Sox, 2.86 ERA, 204 opponents batting average at home, undefeated at home as well. Let's get into this. So we just talked about the weather. Sorry, the excitement seeing Noli knows got me off. So 7.8 miles per hour in, stays between 7.8 and 6.7 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have the Braves at minus 192. They opened up at minus 204. So we've had to move towards 12 cents away from the Braves, 10 cents towards the Giants from 185 to plus 175. When we get to the total, we are sitting here with the 7.5. This opened up at 8. It moved to 7.5 at 9:08 a.m. Now, we had this situation, Jose and I, yesterday in the Padres-Rangers game, and we didn't get concerned that it was a half run lower, and we were fortunate, very, very fortunate to get that in. I was very fortunate. Billy Friedrich says Bet365 his Hicks outs under 15.5 at minus 175. He's moving on that. And Professor Chris says he's on the Giants at plus 175. Hicks allowing 3 earned runs over 5 innings at home versus the Cubs. On the road, being a little worse than he's been at home. 3.68 ERA, 246 opponents batting average, 39 strikeouts, and 36 2/3. When I was looking at this game, my thought, and Jose, I want you to touch on this. My first thought was, at what point is Jordan Hicks going to deal with arm fatigue? This is a guy who's not been starting in his MLB career.
He's there probably already.
Now, the market thinks he's going to, now, not the 15.5 outs, but if Noli loves the under and it's gone from 8 to 7.5, and then, top set and Professor Chris liking the Giants means they expect him to pitch well here. The Braves versus righties since June 1st, 211 with a 651 OPS, horrific. The Giants bullpen, Doval looks really, really good. I mean, he looks so good. Who's going to pick him up at the deadline? He looks so much better than he did last year. He just looks like a lights out closer. 2.74 ERA, 1.08 whip is the Braves bullpen. The Giants bullpen, 4.76 ERA, 1.34 whip. I mean, do you see who they threw? Rogers throwing 80 miles per hour to get to Doval. It does mess with the batters when you have this sidearm softball pitcher. So let's take a look at the cash flow and then hand it over to you, Jose, and then to Daby Cab. This is not one of Daby Cab's best bets. We're just keeping him here. So we have 99% of the tickets and 98% cash on the over, and it's dropped to 7.5. Obviously, that appeals to Jose and I. 87% of the tickets, 95% of cash on the Atlanta Braves, and it's moved to the Giants, which again says that Hicks is going to pitch okay. So here we go. Jose Bouquet, Giants, Braves. Your old friend, that psycho, Chris Sale on the hill.
Did you see that I think he's favored to win the NL Cy Young now? Which is... Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. It really, if he wins the NL Cy Young, I don't think he will. I would be shocked. But yeah, he's like one of the favorites right now, I believe. So shout out to him. Under. I'm going to move on the under right now. Minus 115 to the under 7.5. All the money on the over. We dropped a half run. This is a classic spot we used at the beginning of the season. It worked yesterday. Let's hope it works again today. I don't, Cabby would know more than me. He's already at his career high innings pitch. He's at 85 2/3. His most he's thrown was in 2018, his rookie season, 77 2/3. Last season, he threw 65 2/3. I think at 125 to 150 pitches is when it'll start getting real bad for him. Or innings, yes, excuse me. But I
So
think
sorry,
that's
what
when
did
it
you
was-
say he was at?
He's at 85 and 2/3 now, which is his career high. In 2018, his rookie season was 77 and 2/3, and last season was 65. So I do think that at around, and in Cab, you'll probably know better than I, but at around 120 to 150 is when it'll start getting tough.
Well, we have a red alert here. Your grandma is wearing your sister's panties again. Play of the day is in. It is the under 7.5 and the Braves on the run line. Wow. So when we talk, well, let me hear Daby Cab before I talk about. God, hard to talk about anything when you imagine what's going to happen next in this picture. But we must move forward with the capping.
Champ.
Who do you think she's looking at, and what do you think she's looking at?
I'm just thinking
Bulbasac.
about the camel toe she probably has. It's probably huge.
Nothing wrong with that.
If not, I'd encourage it, honestly.
Yeah, I would. If it's like a foie gras, man, you want to pump whatever you can to make that camel toe bigger, regardless of the human or the animal rights activists that will get upset. Maybe that was not the best analogy.
No, don't worry. No one knows what foie gras is, anyways.
No, come on. Right, Daby Cab, do you know what it is?
No, I don't know. What the fuck is fagua?
Yeah, see, Jimmy, that one just went over everyone's head there.
No, it didn't. There's cappers in the chat who know there's no better taste in food in the world.
It's French food.
Yeah, man.
Sounds like it.
You guys,
It sounds like fuckwad.
Yes, it's duck liver. Thank you, guys. There's no better taste in the world.
You're joking.
No, it's seared duck liver. There's nothing in the world I would rather eat. Well, I shouldn't say that, but I don't even know what to say. But it's not maybe not the highest, but for actually at a restaurant, if I was to order something, there's nothing better. But Daby Cab, I digress and I apologize. Giants, Braves, your plan.
Man, it is hard to think after all that. I'm digesting a whole bunch. Man, talking about Hicks and, when he's going to get tired. One of the things I always say with the pitcher, and this is, a funny example to look at, is you're either progressing or regressing, right? Now, he got to start his career as a starting pitcher against the Padres, where he didn't give up any runs the first game and then only won the second. But his ERA has regressed every single start. Even though he's done great this season, every single start, his ERA has gotten just a little bit worse. There was one point in the middle after a start against the Mets where it got better, but it's continued to regress. And I think we're going to see more of that. I think Hicks, as he gets into these innings that he's not used to dealing with, he's already got 33 walks on the season. I think his whip's going to keep going up. He's not somebody that I would be jumping to get behind personally. I would probably just look at the Braves, maybe the under here. I think he can still give 5 solid innings today. I'm just saying he's on alert right now for somebody who I'm not looking to get behind for a long time.
Okay, so let me ask you this then, Jose. Have you bet this under 7.5 yet?
Yeah, I just moved on.
Okay, so let me ask you: when we want everything to correlate, do you think that Sale's so overpowering? It doesn't matter what the Giants have been doing to lefties.
Yeah, I think someone said in the chat that they hit lefties, but they don't hit good lefties. So I think Sale will just be better at the end of the day.
So we had the day off before the game on Tuesday, so that's why Doval can pitch again today.
Yeah, I assume so. And I'll double check right now on the bullpen reports as well. And it's just really just trying to feel it out. Yeah, he'll be fine. He threw yesterday, and he didn't throw Monday and Sunday, so I expect him to be okay. Everyone should be available in the Giants bullpen. Tyler Rogers, the only one that is iffy, and he threw 23 pitches, but I still expect him to be ready to go.
And we take the full game just in case Hicks gets touched.
Yes, basically, I take full game because my first 5 records have been shit, and yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. No one knows that Hicks isn't even throwing his hardest. I think he holds back.
I agree with that. He has to hold back because if you try to throw 100 and fucking won every time, his arm would fall off. And that's
Well,
what
and I was
I
going to
think
say
he's
too,
learned.
I think, you know, everything we're talking about, fucking big league managers, they understand it also, right? So like, I don't think he gets left out to bleed in any situation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. They're it's Cab. We both say this now. They're not the Angels. They're not,
There you go. They're not. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're not the Angels. The Angels will leave you out there to die, and the Tampa Bay Rays will tell you to throw sliders and curveballs until your arm will fall off. But they're neither of these squads.
All right. We're going to move on here. I will join you on the under 7.5. I don't need to bet that right away. I'd even be curious to see what happens in the next hour or so with this total. But I will join you on the full game under 7.5. Troy Torrance says Giants on the road in this type of market have allowed an average of 7.4 runs this season in a 5-game sample, all of which scored at least 7 runs. This lineup is just scuffling. But it doesn't all correlate. But I tell you what, 99% of tickets, 98% of cash on the over and a dropping half run is
Yep,
provocative. Speaking of provocative,
it gets the people going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of provocative.
Yeah, see, she could do with a little camel toe.
Yeah, you know, she needs some corn for that goose liver to really protrude.
Yeah. She looks like Barbie down there, just flat.
All right. Well, everybody's got something to work on. Sure. All right, let's move on to the next spot on the board. 8:05 p.m. Eastern. The Philadelphia Phillies. The Philadelphia Daby Cabs, 56-29, 23-15 on the road at the Chicago Cubs, 39-47, 22-19 at home. We're at Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois. Let's get to the weather here in Chicago. 73 Fahrenheit, 6.8 miles per hour right to left. Just perfect weather. The rare Wrigley night game. I mean, is there another physical place in the world that you would rather be than Wrigley Field tonight for this baseball game? I mean, just perfect weather in the perfect stadium in the perfect city. Zach Wheeler going up against Shota Imanaga, the perfect pitchers for the perfect. I mean, this is just magic. You guys in Chicago are lucky to get to watch this one. Zach Wheeler going up against Shota Imanaga. Let's get into the line history here for this one. And Morgan Spooner gave us the Castellanos play of the day. I copied and pasted right here. The Pichichiros play of the day. Castellanos over 1.5 bases at plus 115. Says this guy absolutely destroyed baseballs and lefties when he played half a season at Wrigley. Wins blowing out to left. Let's get into the total for this one to get us started. It's a 7.5 juice to the under. This opened up under 7.5 minus 105. It's now under 7.5 minus 109. This got up to under 7.5 minus 117 at 10:30 in the morning. There has been 8 cents of buyback. This opened up not until 7:48 this morning at Pinnacle, and within 5 minutes there was an 11-cent move to the under. So there's no doubt that sharp action is on the under. We will discuss it when we take a look at the cash flow. Before we do that, though, Imanaga and the Cubs are plus 103. Opened up at plus 115. That is a market move. Ooh-wee. So we have 12 cents of movement towards the Chicago Cubs away from Wheeler. Let's get into the cash flow for this one. We have 74% of the tickets and 92% of the cash on the Phillies, and this line moved to the Cubs. Fascinating. On the total, we have 98% of tickets, 95% cash on the over, and we have a slight move towards the under. Let's set this one up. We have best bet action for Daby Cab, who's been spectacular with Phillies action here. We have Wheeler coming off allowing 2 earned runs in a 7-4 loss at home versus the Marlins. He pitched very well. It wasn't on him. Bullpen let him down. But he hasn't been that dominant on the road this year. 3-2, 4.35 ERA, 221 opponents batting average, 14 walks in 39 and a third. Shota Imanaga had a nice bounce back start against the Giants, a team that's raking lefties. 6 innings, 3 earned runs. Now just 3 Ks and 2 walks, but he got the job done. Because of a couple spots where he's been lit up and smoked in this in June, he has a 3.25 ERA now and 241 opponents batting average at home, but a 47 K 3 walk K to walk ratio. Phillies versus lefties 242, 738 OPS. Cubs versus righties 236, 85. Those are since June 1st. And the Phillies bullpen delivers. Now it didn't deliver for Zach last start, but 2.47 ERA, 1.01 WHIP. Well, the Cubs bullpen's been pretty good. 3.56 ERA, 1.30 WHIP. Daby Cab your final best bet on today's card. Take it away. We're in Wrigley for Phillies Cubs.
Such an interesting game here. You know, for anybody on the Cubs side, I get it because you got Realmuto out, you got fucking Schwarber out, you got fucking Harper out. I mean, those are three big bats, and the Phillies right now, 6 through 9, they just look weak. So right now on this game, you know, these are two teams obviously in complete opposite directions. Phillies are 7-3 their last 10 games. I think the Cubs have only won. Let me pull this up. They've only won 3 games in their last 11 games. So the Cubs are just terrible. You know, Imanaga's been their one bright spot. And what I'll say is I'm concerned that pitchers might have figured out that hitters might have figured out him tipping pitches or something in his last couple starts because something's been going on. And you don't just go from, you know, maybe it's just because we're getting more information on his pitch sequencing. I'm not sure what it is, but there's been something that's happened in the last recent starts, the reason why he's given up more runs. And whatever it is, I think the Phillies are on top of it. And I know that, you know, they're missing their three of their bigger bats here, but you got fucking Wheeler on the mound with the Phillies going against the Cubs at this price. It's real hard for me to lay off of. I haven't bet it yet, Jimmy. I like the under and I like the Phillies. I'm probably going to bet both. I want to decide what I'm going to do.
You're betting an under? I fucking never hear you bet an under.
You don't, but here's one where I think it's a good spot.
Wow.
Interesting. Jose Bouquet.
And just for transparency, I lost my last 2 bets on the Phillies, so I am now 17-4 with my Phillies bets.
Still a spectacular record. Jose Bouquet, your plan?
Yeah, under 7.5. Same, basically the same cap as last game, Jimmy. All the money on the over. We've gone down a half run. And again, similar to yesterday as well, we have 2 really good pitchers here that I trust in. Now, the biggest factor for me, and thank you to Sharpie and those people that have put me on this recently, looking at catcher splits is very interesting. Garrett Stubbs, 4 games this year. Wheeler has an 8.6 ERA with Stubbs back there in 4 games. Rafael Marchand, 2 games, a 1.98. And by the way, JT, 1.65. That is crazy. So I personally like to see
8 runs
that.
against Baltimore, though, Jose.
4 Jack. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's 5 jacks against Garrett Stubbs in 4 games. He has 5 jacks with JT Realmuto in 12 games. You know, it's a little concerning. I'm still betting the under. No, don't get me wrong. I'm still going to get the under here. It is just a little concerning to me that Garrett Stubbs' ERA is so high with all those home runs. And sure, first couple of games, you guys got to kind of get used to each other. But I will say it's going to be very interesting to see how all that works out there. So I'm still on the under 7.5. I got, let me double check here. Sorry, I got minus 113 to the under. So just basically, like I said, same cap, same market, 2 pitchers I like. A bullpen I don't trust in the Cubs, but the Phillies offense without those guys is not the same.
Huh. Yeah, I agree with all of this. Makes sense to me. I will join you on that under. What are you going to get on it?
7.5 minus 113.
All right, I will join. I wish Noli Knows was still here in the chat. Wonder if this is a Skull and Bones.
I was wondering the same thing, Jimmy. Before this game came up, that's what I was wondering. Our guy Jake Burns dropped the 11 hits and the 10 ERA versus the Mets. That 11, I'm telling you, something. I don't know if he was tipping his pitches or what was going on, but something. You don't just give up that many hits when you're somebody that's got a low opponent's batting average. Something's changed.
Billy Friedrich says not with the wind blowing out. I mean, is this wind actually a concern? 6
If
miles
this one was
per
blowing
hour?
out, then the total wouldn't be as low as it is.
I mean, it's blowing. It's blowing very, very, very. Oh, it just changed. It's now blowing in, right to left, slightly in. I just refreshed it.
Just
So-
if it was a concern, the total would be higher, in my opinion. So that's good that it's going in now.
Ron Crawford says Cubs 0 bats, and Clark Edge does not respect the Asian pitchers.
Fair enough, Clark Edge.
Is that fair enough? I don't know. I don't know.
Whatever you want to believe, my man. Who won the WBC this year?
Right. But let me just tell you this, as somebody who like has lived in pitching mechanics and teaches pitching mechanics, you better believe I take as much from fucking Japan as I possibly can right now.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, they literally cut and paste all their pitchers to pitch basically the same exact way, and they're all very good. So.
Ride the chair as long as you can, baby.
Yeah, and then the Americans throw out Lincecum.
Fuck yeah. I
Um,
can't wait for the World Baseball Classic to come back for America to get their shit pushed in again. Ugh, God.
Troy Torrance says the average percentage of money on the over this year is 70%. Last year was 47. How can that be such a difference? Or could you say because sports gambling is legalized across North America?
I mean, I
Is
don't
that
think
why?
that many places. I mean, that many places have legalized in the year. You know, I don't think it's that big of a. It'll be that big of a difference in those places. I think it's crazy too. I don't understand
It's
it.
crazy. I've never seen anything like it. All right. So Daby Cab, are you still on the fence for this, or are you gonna move on?
I'm a little on the fence. Let me just sit with it a little longer. I just want to address this too. I have not had a good season so far here on this show, but I'm gonna get it right. And by the end of the second half, I will be in the black. So that's a guarantee.
You know, I don't think we can go wrong because if you don't move on it, it's a waffle. If you move on it, we're riding with you. So
You know, I've like made sure that you guys didn't get any of those for like a week and a half now. So
Yeah.
if I don't move on it, then it'll be the first one in a while.
I'm fucking
know-
hungry, Cab. I
yeah,
need some
you know,
waffles.
You know how bad it is that I know both you and Jose are just hoping that I don't bet the under with you guys now.
well, either way, this one doesn't mind us. But if you're hungry, you know, we're all hungry. We are all really, really hungry.
I mean, I'll go for some.
Starving.
Daby Cab, we will be all ears. Please tag me if you move on this under, but either way, we're going to rock with it. So thank you for rolling with us. Daby Cab can be seen here again tomorrow. Clark Edge says Imanaga told his people to bet against them the last 3 starts. I don't know. Told his people? I don't know.
Well, don't worry. Clark Edge said they're only good for 1 or 2 years, so at least
We still got lots of time then with him.
Yeah, we've got time. We've got time.
Yeah, lots of time. Daby Cab, thank you for rocking with us, my man. In Daby Cab, we need to talk today because we want to have stuff in for All-Star Game and Home Run Derby and things of that nature. So we want to. I'll make sure to get in touch with you. Daby Cab, any last words for the Capper Sporting Show?
Oh man, I'll be right back here Monday. Tomorrow. You guys know where to I don't know why I said Monday. I'll be right back here tomorrow. You guys know where to find me. Pub Sports Radio. I love you guys in the chat, man. Clark Edge, Andrew.
It's Wednesday,
everybody in there, man.
Cabby.
Christopher. What'd you say, Jose?
It's Wednesday. My God.
Dude, it's been a long couple weeks. We are getting back on track though. Today marks the day where we start back on track. Things are going good. From now on, you can't derail that, Jose. I love you guys. I'll see you all tomorrow.
There he is,
Yeah.
Dabra Kadabra.
He's in his house, so he's as happy as he can be. I can't fault him for being happy.
No, I get what's going on with Daby Cab. He's not delivering on the show the way he wants to, and that he cares about this enormously. He cares about us succeeding enormously. I respect everything about how Daby Cab's handled himself. He wants to win more than anything else, and so I love it and love capping with him. All right, let's roll. Next up for us, 8:05 p.m. Eastern, San Diego Padres 46-43, 22-21 on the road at the Texas Rangers 39-46, 21-19 at home. We're at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Roof will be closed. We have Adam Mazer, who is very tricky to figure out. Last night we saw Mercado deliver here, and you can't compare Mazer to Mercado just because they're second round picks, because Mercado, and we got to keep Mercado was a second round pick out of high school. I mean, those guys are studs. This is different when you have a second round pick out of University of Iowa. He's older, 23 years old. We have Mania pitching today at 21. We expect him to pitch. We won't know, but he's 21 years old. But Mazer this year in Double-A was spectacular. He was so good. 6 starts, 32 1/3, a whip under 0.9. He was lights out. He allowed 1 jack. Then he went up to AAA and he got touched. Now, El Paso is a tough place to pitch. He was on the San Antonio Missionaries. Is that in Double-A, right, Jose? Is that
Missions,
right? Missions. Sorry,
yeah.
Missions. And did you see him pitch ever, or hear him pitch? Or
No, I haven't heard shit. No one, or we haven't heard shit since because I guess San Antonio was spoiled when they literally had Josh Naylor, Fernando Tatis, Ty France, and like fucking what's his name, the closer from the fucking Seattle Mariners, were all on the team at the same time.
Yeah, so he was lights out. And then he goes up to El Paso, very tough place to pitch in the PCL league. And, he gets hit. He gets hit a lot. 15 earned runs in 19 innings, 4 jacks. So then he goes up to the show and he gets touched again. Yeah, my bad.
I'm laughing at Justin McKelvey just getting to Grey Poupon or whatever the fuck the duck liver thing was.
Yeah. It's spectacular, Justin. Seared. It's the finest thing that I've ever eaten in my life.
By the way,
yeah,
I was gonna say, who's not getting fucking this foie gras is Kelsey, because Kelsey fucking gonna come charge me for that steak after a pitching change too. She's no joke there.
Yeah, that she was. Oh, there she is, right there.
See? No joke.
There she is. Right
Fuck
there.
your pitching change, she says.
So, Mazur coming off allowing 4 earned runs over 5 innings and 9-7 win at home versus Nats. No strikeouts, 1 walk. He's in trouble. He's just in trouble. And then we have John Gray, who in 2 of his last 3 starts is being destroyed. In this last start, 8 earned runs over 5 innings, 11-2 loss at the Orioles. The Padres are raking against righties right now, 277, 79, 95 OPS. Maybe this isn't the right spot for him to bounce back, but it feels like John Gray will bounce back. So Padres bullpen 4.42 ERA, 1.45 WHIP. The Rangers are starting to hit righties a little bit harder, but still not very good. Actually, you know what? Let's not talk about, because I've got their numbers since June 1st. What are the Padres versus righties weighted runs created in the last 14 days? If you could give us that here.
14 days. I'll tell you right now. 14. Well, that's 10 days. Sorry, I'll give you a little more. Last 14 days, the Padres against right-handed pitching and 300 at-bats have 131 weighted runs created plus. That is 4th best in the league, right in front of the Astros.
So the Rangers, we should start talking differently about the Rangers offense.
The Rangers against righties are last 2 weeks, 86 weighted runs created plus.
So they're still struggling. Okay, that's what I want.
So they're struggling. The Padres against righties are smashed.
They're raking, yeah. Okay, so we have this line at minus 137. Rangers open up minus 142. We have 5-cent move to the Padres. 5-cent move to the Padres. We get to the total. The total in this one is sitting right now at 9 minus 117 to the under. It just moved to 8.5. Moved to 8.5, and actually an hour ago. I should refresh this. So it's still plus money to the under, but it moved to 8.5. So as much as I want to back a bounce back start for John Gray, I can't do it. The market's just not going to let me do it. When we get to the cash flow here in this one, you have 97% of tickets, 88% cash on the over. We just saw it. Sorry, let's go back to this. We just saw this
8.5 to 9.
Oh, it just bounced back to 9. Wow. 4 minutes ago. But it's not a real 8.5 or 9. It's still minus 117. We still had 12 cents of movement to the under. Wow. Thank you for saying that, because I rechecked it. So cash flow, we have all this money on the over. Sorry, let me go to all markets. I'm too many games deep here. We go to money line. You have 23% of tickets and 63% of cash on the Padres. Lee Davis says, didn't Sharpie say Gray was tipping his pitches? Yes, he did. Yes, he did say that. But this game is... I wish John Gray was coming off a great start, because then I'd hammer Mazur.
Yeah, I was surprised to see the line as high as it was, but I agree with you.
I guess this is just too much for me. Take it away for us here.
That's really how you spell that? That's fucking
no, that's
crazy.
not how you spell it at all. don't pay any attention to whatever was written right there. Here, go. Come on, Jose. Let's stay focused here.
God damn. All right. I like the under in this game. I do, but I'm gonna stay off. John Gray, I think he bounces back. Mazer maybe has found something. I don't know. Maybe it's too early to say that. He's coming off of an okay start. Not even 5 innings, 4 runs is not even that good with no strikeouts. So yeah, I'm just off this game. I just think that he could probably pitch well against a Rangers offense that's depleted. No Corey Seager, most likely. So I'm off though. There's no action, but that Daby Cab, that did just tickle me there.
All right, we are going to need deep dives here on a couple pitchers as we move on. I'm going to leave it alone. Oh, but
real
here we
quick.
go.
Yes, Noli, we have questions for you, Noli. We have dying questions.
Yes, Noli knows. What do you think of the under in the Wheeler Imanaga start? And look, I wish Padres were going up against a better pitch. Or sorry, I wish the Padres were throwing a better pitcher because then I would be on a Gray to bounce back here. But let's move on to the next spot for us here, and let's talk about one of Jose's brethren, Keider Montero. 23 years of age. He turns 24 on Friday the 5th, which happens to be Venezuelan Independence Day. That's his birthday, is on Venezuelan Independence Day. Well, they'll be facing...
That guy's patriotic as fuck.
They'll be facing the Knuckleheads in that one. Let's start with Keider Montero and then go over to Jose and hear his thoughts of Keider Montero. Keider Montero was in Toledo AAA this year. Last year, he went from high A to AA to Toledo. This year, he was in AAA. He had 13 starts. He went 48 in the third. He walked too many batters, 54 strikeouts, 30 batters, had a very high whip at 1.70. He didn't look that good. They brought him up to the show. He's had 1 start. He's been in 2 games. He's thrown 8 2/3 overall, 9 earned runs he's allowed, 3 jacks he's allowed. So let's start with Keider Montero. What are your thoughts on Keider?
You did just get me thinking about the soccer game again. By the way, Jimmy, the lines, the screaming penalties, screaming extra time, and it is going to take years off my life. But Keider, 2 starts, both have been bad. Philly and Philly is a tough spot. Pittsburgh, your first start this year is not, but he still got crushed. So, I don't know what to expect, really. His minor league starts have been, fine as well, but it is worrisome that he just hasn't shown us any glimpse of hope to pitch well. Now, if they're bringing him back up, his last time out was on the 26th of last month. They're going to bring him back up there. They're obviously they believe in him. He's showing him something. So could I see him pitching well here? Yeah, but I just don't know if the Tigers offense is just horrific. And David Festa, by the way, there's multiple Festas now in the major leagues. Because I thought this was a reliever Festa, but no, he is actually back in the major leagues as well. Festa, 5 innings, 5 earned runs as well. It's just, a worrisome spot from each side. I just don't believe in the offense of the Tigers at the end of the day.
And Montero's 2 starts, May 29th against the Pirates, then went down to the minors, came back up for that June 26th start at home versus the Phillies. Shout out to our guy UPK Ayashi a lot in the house. He's on Pamper Pop Parlay. Wheeler under strikeout 6.5. Sale under 8.5 strikeouts. Castellano hit and Judge 2 or more bases. So Troy has a half unit on 3 bets on the Twins. Team total over 4.5. Twins money line and Twins -1. Twins got us the bag yesterday. And even though that 5th inning, ruined my day, that's what cost me the winning day with the runs that were allowed, I was still so confident once it got to the bullpen. I don't trust the Tigers bullpen, and I don't trust the Tigers bats. Tigers versus righties, 200, 594 OPS since June 1st, while the Twins are 269, 791. And then we have David Festa. And I kind of like these middling prospects, 13th round pick out of Seton Hall in 2021, because if they got here, there's a reason why. There's just a reason
got crushed. He got crushed, and they're giving him another chance too.
5 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs in that 13-6 win at the Diamondbacks. He's been excellent at St. Paul. 3.77 ERA, 1.29 WHIP, 87 Ks and 24 walks. So there's a lot of volatility in this one. This is a tricky one to figure out. But what can we rest our hat on? If maybe we should just stay away from it. Do you think Kiter Montero and David Festa have such volatility? Well, let's let the market in the weather. Let me touch on that before I ask Jose that question. 81 Fahrenheit, 11.4 miles per hour out to straightaway center. It dies down to 7.2 by the end of the game. When we get to the line history here in this one, we have the total at 9. It's at 9. Minus 103 to the over. It opens now. It's even money to the over. So we've had 3 cents of movement to the under at 9. And then when we get to the money line here, we have the Twins at minus 167. Opened up at minus 159. Now that was at 7:51 this morning. Open and got up to minus 174 within about 25 minutes. Then it's come back a little bit, but still 8 cents of movement towards the Twins. And when we get to the cash flow here in this one, we have 98% of the tickets, 98% of the cash on the over, and you have 89% of tickets and 94% of cash on the Twins. Truth teller play of the day is on the Padres, the game we just spoke of from our guy Truth Teller. Take it away for us here, though, Jose. Montero, Festa, target field.
Yeah, I've got no action. I'd be guessing if I tried to, indicate which one of these guys pitches well. Minus 166 was a little aggressive, honestly, but I think that's more of a reflection on the Tigers' offense compared to the Twins' offense. I considered a first 5 under here, honestly, again, with all that money on the over. But I have this opening up at 8, and now it's a 9 here. So I didn't want to move on it. And I've tried to get Mikey to give me the total movement in reverse here, Jimmy. Like we've talked about, I like betting the overs when it goes down a run. I was considering what happens when it goes up a run and seeing, but I'm still waiting on those information from the people I've asked. But no action here for me.
I guess there's just too much volatility here. I mean, Mike's seriously going to sit here and tell you who's going to pitch well between Montero or Festa or either. I get why the Twins would be back, though. Festa hasn't thrown at home. I mean, we've seen Montero on the road and at home. I mean, Festa's probably the one to trust, but I mean, again, it's just too much guessing. But it does feel like the difference is that the Twins are 24-16 at home. 9 games or 11 games over 500, and that they should probably be trusted on the -1 line, probably. Because that lineup is just so much more fierce than the Tigers. I mean, is anything I'm saying not? And then you get the extra juice on the -1 because they're at home. So,
no, I agree with what you're saying. I think they're just better spots to try to lay the juice on during the card than this one. This was just a stay off game for me.
But let's just dive in a little bit further here. It didn't matter if Montero was going up against the Pirates or the Phillies, against a team that was hitting below average or a team that was raking. He got touched. Festa went up against the Diamondbacks, who were ripping the leather off the ball against righties.
Yeah, if I had to choose one pitcher to trust, it'd be Festa here. But it's just too small of sample sizes for either one. I could see Kiter pitching well here because, again, they're bringing him up for a reason. They trust him enough to give him these starts here. So could I see that faith or Peyton?
Or they don't care. They're 9 games below 500, and they want to know what they have.
Yep. And, what they have might be good. Who knows? But, yeah, I lean Festa here for sure.
And, yes, Royce Lewis out of the lineup. Got hurt.
Wow. Shocker.
But, I mean, this lineup is still eating. Okay, I think that the Twins -1 should be bet. Let me just look at this line movement one more time and decide if that is. So we moved 8 cents. Did I say? Sorry, 8 cents. It had moved a lot more. So the early money was on the Twins, and then cash wise, 89% of tickets, 94% of cash. And then Troy Torrance says Twins is home favorites. Market moving towards them. Total over 8, 10-1 this season. Okay. All right. Maybe the only thing that scares me, and the reason why I've got the only trepidation is because, of course, I just cashed on this yesterday. So why, it always makes me nervous to go back to the well. But okay, let's roll on. Billy Friedrich, the pig milk play of the day. It's on its way for a graphic. 37 and 24 plus 16.35 units. The pig milk play of the day is delivering. And we don't have a graphic for pig milk. We don't have anything for you yet. So all we can do for pig milk right now is show Jose Bouquet's tits.
T on your mark. Get set, go. And they're off. Jose, it's getting on your shirt. On your birthday shirt. Chug, chug, chug. Jose, you just drenched yourself. I'm going to have to give you a disqualification for that one. Your winner is Amber.
I still can't believe you got disqualified. I mean, I would be waiting for now, not to do anything physical, but just bananas in the tailpipe. That's not a sexual analogy either.
No, literal.
That's I just the disqualification very. Justin McKelvey says his neighbor really called the police on him. Says glad he has cameras. They're checking my camera as I type. My neighbor was in his yard unannounced.
Get his ass, Justin.
Okay, Justin, we are going to need information here as this goes on. We can't just I respect that you're focusing on the capping, but we're going to need constant updates now. Constant updates. We got your back, Justin. We got your back, but we're going to need constant updates. I want no trouble here. Pig milk play today. Tampa Bay, Kansas City. First 5 under 4.5 minus 118. We're at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Let's get into the line history here on this one. And we'll start with the weather in Kansas City. 81 Fahrenheit. Feels like 84. 4.3 miles per hour right to left and slightly in. Let's get into the line history. This has the Kansas City Royals sitting at minus 108. They opened up at minus 104. And this line was moving away from them and then it's come back with them. 4-cent move to the Royals. Let's get to the total. From a total side of things here. Is Seth Lugo a finalist for the Cy Young?
Yeah, probably. He would be probably. I mean, obviously, if he ended it today, yes. But projecting for the final season, I think he easily be top 5. Really just a question of top 3.
Here, Jose, we have a full run move to the under. This opened up at 9. It is now at 8. Now, I could have got the 9 at minus 120. I could have been sitting here going, look what I got. I got the 9 at minus 120. It had already moved 8.5 at Pinnacle. You know I believe in Pepio. Walk has been a machine. But I got... And look at the weather's completely changed. How stupid of me to... this was... I had thought... was I... Maybe I was tripping. Maybe I was looking at yesterday's weather. Is that possible? It was late at night. I bet you that's what I was doing.
Yeah, it's definitely possible.
Let me just look at what it was yesterday. Yeah, that's what was happening. Jesus, that's my mistake. I was looking at yesterday's weather, and that's why I didn't feel like everything correlated. Oh, my God. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, now I see my mistake. Pepio 4-4, 4.40 ERA, 1.09 whip. He looks really good. And that last start was at home where he's not been pitching well, and he delivered against the Mariners, the light-hitting Mariners. On the road, 3.46 ERA, 208 opponents batting average. Michael Wacha, 4-6, 3.91 ERA, 1.25 whip. He's been very good. His last start at home was against the Guardians. We know what the Guardians have been doing, and he shut them down. Shut them down. Now, opponents have been hitting him at home. 294 opponents batting average, but that was a good team he just shut down. Neither team's hitting. Rays versus righties, 233, 701. Royals, 226, 690. And both bullpens have struggled somewhat. And here, and TJ says, serious rumblings out there about KC pulling a Houston cheating scandal. They have several batters with insane splits, especially against off speed. So here we go. Jose Bouquet, take it away. Rays Royals. I would already be on the minor. I made a mistake, a late night mistake, late night capping mistake. I see it now. I can understand it. I mean, these things happen when you're capping, to the wee hours. But take it away for us here, Rays Royals.
Yeah, this has moved a full run down, Jimmy. So you know what I'm going. Open up at a 9, bet online. Now it's an 8. Full game over 8. First 5 over 4. Minus 107 over 8. First 5 over 4. Minus 118 for me. Both will be official here. Again, we've talked about this before. It's my least favorite angle in sports betting that I've bet, and it's been working, and I will just continue to do it. 87% of the money, 85% of the bets, or excuse me, backwards there on the over. But, it's been worse. It's been like 90+ percentage points sometimes. So it goes down a run. I'll just bet the over. So over for me, both.
Wow. What were the juices here?
Over full game minus 107, first 5 over minus 118. Billy, I love you, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, I still can't believe you got DQ'd. I mean, that's just shock and awe. I mean, she doesn't like men, I think.
They didn't say that I shouldn't dump it all over my tits.
You didn't dump that much.
You know what? I guess we have to watch it again.
T on your mark. Get set, go. And they're off. Jose, it's getting on your shirt. On your birthday shirt. Chug, chug, chug. Jose, you just drenched yourself. I'm going to have to give you a disqualification for that one. Your winner is Amber. Let's hear it for...
And we no longer have the slap. Slap is gone, so I can't even show you the tits getting slapped. Why don't we get that up here for later? Let's move on. Next up, 8:40 p.m. Eastern, we have the Milwaukee Brewers 51-35, 24-22 on the road at Colorado Rockies, 29-56, 17-25 at home, Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. She didn't like you.
Probably
She
not.
didn't like you. Was she Spanish?
Yeah.
So what?
Race trader. What can we say?
Something was up there. She had a disdain for you. She didn't want you to succeed.
Maybe she was into me.
No. That was clearly the opposite. It was clearly the opposite. Colin Ray going up against Dakota Hudson. Colin Ray, who's been so good at home, has really struggled on the road. 4.54 ERA, 39 2/3, 22 strikeouts, 18 walks, 270 opponent's batting average. The first thing I looked at on today's card was the over in this one. It was the very first thing I looked at. And this has moved 10 cents to the over, but I wanted to come here and see a 12. That's what I wanted. This opened minus 117 to the under, immediately was moving to the over. I don't see how either Colin Ray or Dakota Hudson could deliver. Yes, but Mikey Money hearing it as well. She just...
admittedly, as soon as she mentioned it getting all over my shirt, that's when I realized I was going to dump it all over my shirt.
Well, no, This isn't about you. This is about another woman's hatred of you.
Sure.
She did not like you. She did not let you succeed in front of your friends on your birthday.
No, not even on my birthday. I have the slap ready for you as well.
Do you remember when you had a podcast with two guys in San Antonio and you said something about a Korean musician?
I definitely remember. Yep.
They canceled the podcast, they canceled their Twitters, and they turned their back on you. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
They erased you from their lives.
They did. Yeah.
That
guy, by the way, one of the two dudes, I think he stopped not liking me a few months ago, and we're chill now again. But it took a couple months for him to get over it.
Well, I don't like him. So I don't care if he's, this guy's turncoat.
I know.
This guy's gonna get shanked if he comes down to Southtown 101.
Sure.
So tell him not to come when we have Pubapalooza, because there'll be trouble. I think I see her in the same light as those guys.
Of course.
Turning their back, just not wanting my friend, anything to do with my friend, and I dislike them all. Obviously, now I can physically abuse the men, which I can't do with women, which is fair. That's fine. But yes, when we go down to San Antonio, I think I was just too caught up in the excitement of seeing everybody to to really fulfill the rage. Yeah, to fulfill the rage that I have against those two guys. I want their addresses. I want their names. I want to find them. And I don't need to hurt them, but I would like to negatively affect their lives.
A banana in the tailpipe?
Worse. Colin Ray, Dakota Hudson. So we talked about Ray's poor pitching on the road. Now he's in the thin air of Colorado. Let's take a look at the weather here in the thin air of Colorado. 87 Fahrenheit, hot. 14.5 miles per hour right to left. Dies down to 9.4 by the end of the game. Let's get into the money line history. We've talked that the total has had slight movement. I would prefer more. Let's take a look at this money line. The money line here, the Brewers are sitting at minus 164. They opened up at minus 148. The interesting thing about this market movement was there was none until 11 this morning. None. So, yeah, the public's come in and hammered the Brewers. Dakota Hudson has been horrific at home. 0-5, 8.58 ERA, 22 strikeouts and 23 walks. That's what he's done, 35 2/3 at home with a 361 opponent's batting average. Look, these teams are not hitting with any power. Brewers, 258, 711 versus righties since June 1st, while the Rockies are 236, 683. The Rockies bullpen has been a little bit better over the last 14 days, but still horrific since June 1st, 6.79 ERA, 1.62 whip, while the Brewers bullpen's been lights out. I want the over, but if the Rockies bullpen has been pitching better and the Brewers bullpen is lights out, and I don't want the Brewers, I don't believe that it's sharp action that's moved the Brewers line, just an abundance of action, I would think. What do you think about the first 5 over instead of the full game? And what are your thoughts on this spot?
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it at all. Colin Ray, and a factor we like looking at is have they pitched in Coors? He pitched in Coors, but in 2016, and he got crushed there. And I think you can just use that and run it back again here. I think wouldn't be surprised at all if he gave up some runs in the thin air. I'm not confident enough to move on it because of the Rockies offense just being what it is. Colorado against righties, 76 weighted runs created plus. That is park adjusted as well, so make that of what you will. But I just didn't end up moving on it. Though I am interested in Justin McElvee's struggles with his dogs and the cops here. It's been a minute. I need more updates from you, Justin.
Well, pronounce his name right, and maybe he won't take it out on the officers. You know, we want him to be as cool and calm as possible. He hears you butchering his name after he's given out 450 bets on the show.
I wonder if that's how Rocco Rogers feels as well.
Yeah, I can't speak for that. I'm sure it's not appealing, though. So this total is at 6. First 5 totals at 6, and I'm moving on it. I'm moving on the first 5 over, one of my few overs. First 5 over 6 here for me. I'll be moving after the show. All right, let's roll on. By the way, Mikey Money giving out that Tommy Paul spot. He broke it down in that next comment that we highlighted. Currently down 2-1, big sharp action to win tournament pre-flop.
And Rocco did confirm not appealing, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's just it's impressive how you choose to alienate our friends. Let's move on. 9:40 p.m. Eastern. Los Angeles Angels 36-48, 18-22 on the road at the Oakland Athletics. Oakland Athletics 31-56, 19-23 at home. We're Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. So let me tell you my thought process with this, Jose. I want to fade Davis Daniels start so badly. And I love Joey Estes. I like him. I think he's a great pitcher to back because I believe he's much better than his numbers indicate. He's been lights out at home. I want to back him so bad. The problem is he just faced the Angels. Am I going to sit here and believe he's got tricks in the bag? I can't do it. I cannot do it. Chang Kim's got our back. See what I mean, man? Chang Kim's going to support you. I love our guy Chang Kim. Shout out to Chang Kim in the house. Joey Estes has a 186 opponent's batting average at home. I almost want to start backing Joey Estes at home in every start he has, but I cannot get over that last situation or that last start, and he was great or good. 5 2/3. He allowed 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks. Von Polo. That's something that it's interesting. That's something that Jeff wanted when I first came to pub. He wanted to show where it was just Collins. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
If you guys are interested in that was we could make that happen. We could make that happen. Collins show. That's okay.
It would turn into just here's the link. Join our StreamYard and come tell us to play or whatever.
No, I don't think that's what would happen. I don't think that's.
But
right.
yeah,
Let's go back.
It
to
would
this
be
one.
instead of Collins, it would be like join this link. But yeah, no, you get it. It's the same process.
Let's go into the 75 Fahrenheit, 9.9 miles per hour left to right, and then slightly in, always around 9.9, 9.7. Let's get into the first 5 total. This first 5 totals at 4.5, juice to the over at -119, which means there's been 23 cents of movement to the first 5 over, which is a lot at Pinnacle. Let's go to the full game over here, sitting at 8.5, just -104 to the over, but it opened at 8, so we have a half run move towards the over. Let's get into the money line. On a money line situation, we have the Angels sitting here at -108. They opened up at -111, 3-cent move towards the Oakland A's. And when we get to the cash flow, we have 42% of the ticket, 61% of the cash on the A's, 95 and 92 on the over. I guess I can't move on it here. I want to fade Davis Daniel off that 8 innings, 8 strikeouts, 5-0 win at home versus Tigers on his first start on the road so badly. Should I just look past the fact that Estes is going to see this lineup again? Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just thinking over in this game. Someone, I forgot who said it, but this game kind of screens over to me. We saw Davis Daniel, great start. Congratulations. I don't believe in you. I will fade you in this next coming up start. And Joey, again, I just think this is just the zigzag theory here. I agree with you that he's a young pitcher and he went 5 2/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs last time out against the Angels. I wish he would have gotten crushed by the Angels. Then we could back him here more confidently. And shout out to Wine Time, who we talk about frequently when talking about these Angels. They continue to do their thing. So over in this game, I think is going to be my bet. My concern, I like it when it goes down and unders. I don't like it when it goes up and over where I had it or where it was on the overs. It wasn't 8. Now it's an 8.5. It's a little concerning. Obviously, against righties, both of these squads. Oakland is 26. Los Angeles is, where are you? Los Angeles 17th, both under 100 weighted runs created plus. It's concerning, yes, but I will still move on the over 8.5 here, -110, I believe. Let me double check that right now. It is, in fact, -110, 8.5.
You're probably right. You're probably right. I hate when you have a existing plan with a pitcher and then it just messes you up. I guess I've got a lot of action here. I'll just, you know what? I'll take a closer look at this afterwards. Okay, let's roll on. We got 2 games left before we get into the lone WNBA game with Billy Brisbane. We move on. Next up for us, 10:10 p.m. Eastern with the Arizona Diamondbacks, 41-44, 19-23 on the road at LA Dodgers, 53-33, 26-16 at home. Justin McKelvey says, who was you pointing at before you got disqualified? Your girlfriend, I imagine.
I was pointing at my family members and such.
Oh, you had multiple family members there.
Yeah, I had both my parents. Yeah, it was public embarrassment and shame of getting disqualified.
You were disqualified in front of your parents.
Yeah, I know.
That makes me despise that woman now. So are you saying that if we go to a San Antonio Missions game that we can heckle her?
Unfortunately, I think she no longer works there.
I hope she's been fired. I hope she's been canned, man.
I think she just got pregnant.
Okay, well, that's a little different. I won't say negative children, but I dislike her. She was, I just like she didn't like you from the moment she saw you.
That's fair. And if next time we go to a missions game together, you and I, hopefully she's there and we can hash out our differences.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there'll be hash involved. Christian Mania, 21 years old, and you have him listed. He's now listed as the pitcher?
I had him listed earlier today. And there was he was listed on the book. So yeah, he's still there.
Christian Mania here. So this year he's been in AAA Reno, and he's, for a 21-year-old. I mean, still, we think of AAA as being where all the youngsters are. Still, just because minors. The average age in AAA right now is 27.6 years of age. So here was a 21-year-old in AAA. He went 3-2, 4.90 ERA, 1.49 WHIP. He had 16 starts, 82 2/3, and 89 strikeouts in those 82 2/3, 38 walks. This is a highly thought of pitcher from the Dominican Republic, and this is a very difficult situation for him. It's all good, Justin. Stay relaxed. It's all good.
As long as the dog is okay.
Yeah, they'll be out of here in a second. So keep the cool and just pretend it's not happening and just let it be. Let it be. We'll get them out, and then
maybe we can give the officers the play of the day, and they can make some money along their day. Who knows?
Yeah. I don't know how appealing that'll be to them. Let's just get them out. We have Gavin Stone coming off completo. 9 innings, no earned runs, 7 Ks, no walks against the weak hitting White Sox. The Diamondbacks are hitting righties as hard as the Dodgers since June 1st. And at home, Gavin Stone's been very good, a little bit worse than he's been on the road. And then the big difference is the bullpen. The Diamondbacks bullpen 5.07 ERA, 1.43 WHIP since June 1st, while the Dodgers bullpen being very good, 2.78 ERA, 1.06 WHIP. So let's get into the X's and O's in here. Jose's plan for this one. 69 Fahrenheit, 8.6 miles per hour to right field, dies down to 6.4 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history. Line history-wise, we have Stone sitting here at minus 191. That means that 31 cents of movement towards him, and it got up to minus 197. There was buyback 2 minutes ago, 6 cents of buyback. So huge move. But why did they open at minus 160? I mean, that is very strange and almost doesn't make sense.
Yours opened at minus 160, you said?
At Pinnacle, yeah. What did you guys open up at BetOnline?
Yeah, and actually, I just looked. Well, let's also remember that this was Mazer or Mania or whatever. This is probably a different pitcher because I assume he was unlisted for a while, and they probably switched pitchers, and they got up to minus 215 because I have it at 215 at 3 at minus 160, and then at 9 a.m. it salts all the way up to 215. So it has to be a pitching change.
Yes. No, you've nailed it because that 902 was the switch, or 915. So let me go back to it. You're right. That's an important. That's very, very important. So that means that at 9:02 a.m. minus 215. So there's actually been. That's so important. Great stuff, Jose. That means that there's been 24 cents of movement away towards the Diamondbacks since the pitcher was announced. So that's important. Very, very important. Coin shining out Central Arkansas's Gavin Stone has been a monster. And then Rocco says Montgomery was supposed to go before he was put on IL last night. So yeah, that was very important. Good note. So let's take a look at the cash flow here for this one. Our second to last game on the board. We have 89% of tickets, 90% of cash on the over, 7% of tickets, and 60% of cash on the Diamondbacks. Wow. What a tricky situation here. Somebody believes in Christian Mania. Take it away, Jose. Mania, Stone at Chavez Ravine.
Here I am again, wanting to bet the Diamondbacks. I don't know. Maybe I let last year's playoff performance affect me a little bit too much, but like when the games mattered the most, this Diamondbacks team, which is basically comprised of the same pieces, beat this Dodgers team, which, obviously Ohtani is now on the team, but now they don't have Mookie on the team for right now. So truthfully, again, I would love to be on the Diamondbacks here. And Billy, I agree with you. It should have been a much bigger day for me as well. That Diamondbacks blown lead sucked. On top of that, they fucking threw Joe Mantiply to start the game and fucked me there to change pitchers and void all my bets. So that was extremely bothersome on both ends there. And the worst part about it, Billy, is that pitching changes do not apply apparently to stake bets either. So I owe Kelsey a 5-star foie gras dinner at this point. So it's fucked, Billy. It's fucked. But here I am again. I do indeed want to bet the Diamondbacks here, and I think I will. And here it is again. Nut Flush, I hope you're listening out there. Team total over, full game money line for me again here. And maybe I should do the first 5 yet again. I could hear the arguments for and against it, but this will be the 2 bets I have on it. I need to find out what the team total is, but Arizona full game money line and team total will be on my card.
Well, get those numbers for us. While that is happening, we have the ribeye play of the day. 14-14 on the year, plus 12.25 units, and it is Christian Walker. Plus 175 is the ribeye play of the day. I don't know what to say.
Well, God bless you, Justin McKelvey, for siding with me. It was great.
Yeah, it's shocking. Obviously, he didn't hear you butcher his last name while he was talking to policemen.
So, well, he's a busy man. He's a busy man, you know.
Because if he had have heard you call him McElvey, you think he would have been saying these nice things about you?
He might still, because he's a great guy. Who knows? But I think there would be less capital letters. It'd be said in lowercase, and a little less exuberance there. But you know what? Maybe you're right.
I think if he, heard you while you know how to pronounce his name, purposely butchering his last name out of disrespect, I don't think he'd be saying positive things about you. That's all.
See, when you say that, it just makes me feel bad for saying Rocco Rogers for the last 2 years, 3 years. But you shout to you, Rocco Rogers.
I hope you take some time to think about all this.
I will. Maybe tomorrow I'll come back with a better tone.
Team Leroy Flood says, can we find that campsite? I mean, can you just imagine 70 of us coming out of the woods there?
By the way, I heard some research was done into this. It's in Brazil. So the trip to Brazil.
We can find that. And Isaac, thank you for the very kind words. Love seeing a new name in the chat, fan since low bag days. Thank you for the kind words, my man. That means a lot. No, we will not. Don't put that last don't make that last comment visible. Don't make it visible. Okay, let's. Juice. Team total over for the Diamondbacks was what? At what juice?
Minus 115 for the team total over 3.5 and plus 174. You've been to almost South America. You'd fit right in.
Well, I don't fit in. That's the problem. I'm a mark everywhere I go. I'm a target everywhere I go.
Yeah, that's what happens with me, unfortunately. I'll never go back to Venezuela because I am the biggest target.
It's the Jays, man. You can't. You gotta. Yeah.
Well, you don't even hablar portuguese as well, so I've been tough in Brazil.
No, you're right. That's the problem. And my only line I have, and thank God for it. I was so disrespected until I learned "Lo siento, mi español no bueno." As soon as I said that, it was like instead of just
oh fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I need to teach that to Helga because whenever we go by customs, I'm sure she'll need that.
Billy Friedrich says, "Wait a minute, y'all haven't seen her face. Could be Chuck Wagon City up front on that grill." I'd prefer that.
You know what, Billy? I'll roll those dice.
Yeah,
that's a bet I'm willing to take.
Either way, you can't lose.
Yeah, I think that's plus 120, and I'll take the no problem.
Yeah, I'll just whatever. It's all good. So we move on. Now, Billy Friedrich, I don't even want to show that comment either, even though that's we will just because Why are we so confident that that's not the case? Here,
Which one? Which
Billy
of his
Friedrich's
comments?
Billy Friedrich's comment. I mean, is there anything masculine about this woman? Nothing. There's
No,
nothing.
let's just run. Hold on, I need to see it again. Let me. I need to.
There's
I need to get
nothing
it.
masculine about this woman. Nothing.
I mean, maybe the way she turns a kebab.
No. Maybe the way you say kebab.
What is that? Well, that's the most masculine thing I've ever done. Then, if that's masculine, let's take it.
Yeah, she's got a slender neck.
She's good technique.
She's not a linebacker's neck. She doesn't mean working out so that she doesn't get concussed.
Yeah,
she's
I mean,
very effeminate.
We all know
effeminate.
the reputation of Brazilian women. Why are we slandering them?
Yeah, I'm angry at Billy Friedrich. This is the first time I've ever been upset at Billy Friedrich. You want to ruin this for us, Billy? Is that what
Billy,
you want to do?
Tiptoeing a line right now, Billy.
No, I'm now. This is Billy's trying to take something away from us. Wow. Okay, so Justin was listening.
Hose.
Hose. Oh, this is good.
I mean, yeah, you could say I've been called that before, Justin.
Hose. Yeah, Christopher Comentini. Again, I don't know why you guys are trying to hurt this. I mean,
I'm okay with childbearing hips. That's all right.
But I mean, there's other ways to put that, but we'll let Hose handle that. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. Hose has moved on the Diamondbacks team total over 3.5 and the full game plus 174. And let Wine Time get us back focused on sports. You can tell Wine Time is, newly married with a beautiful wife because he doesn't care.
Yep.
He doesn't.
No, he's going to his honeymoon soon.
He goes into the capping. He does not care. And I get it. Oh, why should he care? Why should he care? No reason to care. No reason at all.
No, we care though.
We do care. We do. We care. We care. Is that wrong that we care? No.
Is it wrong that we're interested and then at some point our interest wanes heavily? I mean, I'm very interested.
Be crazy not to.
Manly hands and all.
All right, Hose, let's get back to work here. Baltimore Orioles, Seattle Mariners, our last MLB game on the card before we get into WNBA. And BJ's giving us the best bet, Mariners money line. Baltimore Orioles 54-31, 25-14 on the road. Seattle Mariners 47-40, 28-15 at home. I kind of like your team total over. Kind of like that on the Diamondbacks. I'm going to spend a little bit more time here.
Fuck yeah. Justin wins the day. McKelvey wins the day.
Yeah. Time to celebrate. Got him out. I get it. Okay, we roll here. T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington. What a performance by the Orioles. Do they ever look locked in? 66 Fahrenheit at first pitch, 8.5 miles per hour in, dives down to 7.9 miles per hour. A little warmer for nighttime in the Pacific Northwest. We have Dean Kramer back in business, Jose. So he missed 6 weeks of action with a right tricep strain. And Jose, he got touched in his rehab starts. So he had 8 2/3 innings in 3 rehab outings at Norfolk. And he got touched. 4 jacks, 11.42 ERA. He did not look good. And I don't know how much to put into that. I really don't. I don't have the answer for you there. On the road, he's been really good this year. He was looking better and better and better as that season went on before he got hurt. He didn't get off to a great start, but he started looking really good a few starts. On the road, 2-2, 3.21 ERA, 170 opponent's batting average. Going up against Logan Gilbert, who's been fantastic at home, fantastic on the road. He's been very, very consistent. At home, though, 55 strikeouts, just 7 walks over 53 1/3, no 184 opponent's batting average. His last start was at home versus the Twins. He allowed 2 earned runs over 6 innings, no walks, 3 Ks. The Orioles rake 283, 879 OPS. Mariners do not, 216, 689 OPS. Why they didn't re-sign Teoscar Hernandez, it's not like he was that expensive. The bullpen for the Orioles has been very good all year. 3.14 ERA, 1.09 whip, while the Mariners bullpen 4.06 ERA, 1.22 whip. Let's get into the line history for our final spot on the board before we get into WNBA. We have Gilbert at minus 120. He opened up at minus 118, 2 cents of movement towards the Seattle Mariners. And then when we get to the total, we have this sitting at 7, minus 107 to the over. We've had a 1 cent move to the under. Now, we had a 7 yesterday. And I was thinking that this might be the over. But so are 98% of tickets and 98% of cash. And I don't really want to be involved in that. 47% of tickets and 96% of cash on the Baltimore Orioles. So why is there not a move towards the Baltimore Orioles? A fascinating spot here for us, Jose. Take it away. Our last game on the card for MLB before we get into WNBA. That's Orioles-Mariners.
Yeah, this is. I don't want to back Dean Kramer. Those rehab starts are pathetic, and it's scary. It's scary to back a guy like that. Like, we've seen it a few times. A guy struggle in rehabs and come up and pitch well. And the Mariners' offense is not like it's a juggernaut. So I could easily see him going out there and pitching well, but I don't want to put my money on it. It'd be Mariners or pass for me. And honestly, under or pass here again, because it's just the Mariners are so bad offensively, and they're one of the best under teams in baseball. So it'd be Mariners or nothing for me, but I'm staying off this game. And I hope for the Mariners' sake and maybe for my own sake and my bets, I hope the Mariners add some bats.
Yes, Rem, I bet it last week at plus 140, and with a ton of confidence.
Yeah, and by the way, you mentioned that day as well. Like, should we start betting the Orioles every day? And, they keep winning.
It would have worked. I don't want them here. I see all this sharp action on them. I don't know what Kramer's going to do. He certainly didn't look good in rehab. I know that's not a big deal, but I have to think that there's another advantage here. I know it cost me in the last one, but there wasn't an advantage overall with the two pitchers yesterday. There was a perceived advantage with the home road splits that cost me money. But, why wouldn't I be on the Mariners first 5 in this one? Let's see if there's a price difference. Now, remember, the no price difference in the Mitch Keller Gibson start saved me $500. I would have been first 3, first 5 on the Pirates, but there was no difference in price. Why in the world? And what's interesting, Jose, is by 5:00 p.m. there was a 15-cent difference. But that was the public seeing the same thing that I was seeing, not because they don't have the opportunity. Maybe they were working in the day. They don't have the opportunity to see that there was no difference when the line was set up, which there should have been. So let's see if there's a difference here. Mariners full game at 365 minus 125. First 5, they're minus 140.
Yeah, I was going to say, I had it at minus 115. I expected it to be minus 130 at least.
So let's see what it is here at Pinnacle.
Bet Online had minus 120, minus 140. So that makes sense.
Wow. Minus 120 and at Pinnacle, and first 5 minus 144.
Yeah, that's. I think that's what it really should be, because this Orioles bullpen is not that impressive, and you're getting the better pitcher. You just have to go up against the lineup here. It's a classic. You better bullpen, better pitching, but can you score runs?
That's a 24-cent difference. So, okay, I'm going to move here on the Mariners. I'm going to have to take them first 5 minus a half, and I'm going to do it. I rarely been doing these first 5 minus a half, but I'm going to do it here. Okay, Mariners first 5 minus a half. Jose, your plan for Orioles Mariners, if any?
I'm staying off, but I'm hoping for a 3-0 for you.
All right, let's review here MLB. I'll let Brizzy know that we are ready for you. See if he is going to. We don't have him backstage. We can touch on the game, Jose and I, with the cappers in the chat if he's not, because it's just one game on the card. Let's review all action in MLB. So, Justin McKelvey, Brian Dela Cruz over 1.5 bases is Stacks play of the day. Shout out to Trish hanging with us. Fantastic thoroughbred capper in the house. What up, Trish? Then I moved on the White Sox first 5 plus a half, and I bet it during the show. I also have some interest in that full game under so I'm going to spend some more time on that after the show, but that's got question marks beside it. TJ's first best bet, first 5 under 4.5 in car. Oh, and sorry, I'm on the Marlins first 5 at plus 120. I bet that before the show started. And Bo Jackson is off the Blue Jays money line now. Interesting. Okay, Bo, thank you for telling us that. TJ's first best bet, first 5 under 4.5 in Cardinals Pirates. I added the Mets -1. And Rocco Rogers gave us the Mets money line, Ventos over 1.5. But he looks great at third. He's a very smooth fielding third baseman.
Yeah, the Mets, I'm glad that Steve Cohen is learning how to be a baseball owner, because all owners do this. They come into the sport, they start spending big money, they fail, then they have to learn, and now that's what he's starting to do. So, that's nice for him.
Ventos over 1.5 bases, -105, and Homer at plus 330. Then TJ's on the Reds first 5 over 4.5. Jose's on the Reds team total over 3.5, and the Reds first 5 plus 0.5. He got 6 cents better than I got. I got Reds first 5 plus 0.5 plus 102. And Gerald Jones is on his play of the day, Reds Yankees over 8.5. Big O on the Cards -1. TJ and Cab are on the Astros -111. Let's take a look and see if that line has moved further in their direction, because that all made sense. I just couldn't comprehend how they could be plus money to start this one. Couldn't comprehend for the life of me. Just like I couldn't comprehend the Mets line yesterday. And I was right, but the Mets won in extras. Here for the Astros, Jays. Well, yeah.
-108 on Bet Online.
As soon as I was saying, wow, I guess not right when we were saying it, but this got down to a pick 'em at -104.
I will be moving on the Toronto Blue Jays.
Something's
like I said, I wanted to be the asshole during that whole segment, just to go against everyone, because it seems like everyone in the chat, both guys on our panel, both like the Astros, but it's hard to do. But I guess I'll do it. I'll join on the Blue Jays at the end of the show.
Wow, but Bo Jackson's gotten off of them. Interesting.
Come on, Bo, jump on, Bo.
I'm gonna move on the under 7.5. Jose's moved on it in Giants. Braves, and your grandma's wearing your sister's panties again. Play today for Mikey Money is Atlanta on the run line, and the under 7.5. That's a plus 355. So, Jose's on the under 7.5 in Philadelphia, Chicago. I'm going to be joining him. I haven't moved on yet. Shout out to Cuban Connect in the house. He's got minor league MLB action. Nashville, St. Paul, Rochester over, Round Rock under, Red Sox over for our guy Cuban Connect.
Shout out to you.
And Mikey Money likes the Altuve spot for home run RBI, but only the one official spot today. Padres, Rangers, one of the few spots we stayed off. Twins -1. I will be on. Jose is doubling up on overs in Rays, Royals. Pig Milk play today is Tampa Bay, Kansas City, first 5 under 4.5. I'm going to be on the first 5 over 6 in Milwaukee, Colorado. Jose's on the over 8.5 in LA, Oakland. I would like to take a closer look at that one. I find it appealing. Then Jose is on the Diamondbacks team total over 3.5. I find that appealing. In the full game at plus 174. Mikey Money as Christian. What's the wow?
The Phillies are now at -113 when they were -125 earlier in the show as well.
Oh no, they weren't. They were -111. It moved 14 cents at Pinnacle when I was talking about it.
Wow, interesting. Yeah. When I was moving the lines, then it was minus. That's crazy.
Jose's on the Diamondbacks team total over 3.5 -115, and the full game plus 174. Christian Walker ribeye is the RBI spot. Ribeye play of the day for Mikey Money. That's 14 and 14 plus 12.25 units. And then Mariners first 5 -0.5 is how I close up shop for me here. Aubrey Travis says Brewers run line free money, and Justin McKelvey says dog eat dog play of the day coming soon.
Yeah, I don't mind giving Justin stakes if they're just going to his dog. I definitely don't mind that.
And then
you, Justin.
Jeffrey Moore says, doesn't Fetty need Tommy John surgery? He has been putting it off. I don't know about
I think that might be, maybe it's McKenzie that you're thinking of.
You're thinking of Tristan McKenzie. I've not heard anything like that about Fetty.
I haven't either.
Wine times on the Angels money line, Mariners money line, and St. Louis Pittsburgh under 8.5 for wine time. Let's copy and paste all that. Okay. That is MLB here.
Haas. I've been called all these things before. It's very funny. These nicknames.
You've been called Hose?
Ho, yes, yeah. Hose,
Right.
Haas, Hose B, the whole thing.
Hose B. Wow.
Yeah.
They're really firing away. All right. It looks like no Billy Brisbane today. I'm not sure why, but let's roll into WNBA. So we're going to need you guys here in the chat to help deliver for us. 8 p.m. Eastern, we have the Phoenix Mercury at the Dallas Wings. Mercury 9-10, 2-6 on the road. Wings 4-15, 2-5 at home. We're at College Park Center in Arlington, Texas. The Mercury come in off their second straight loss in third and 4 games, 83-72 at home versus Connecticut on Monday night. And this is their third game in 4 nights. This is a veteran-laden group that might be a little tired. The Wings come in off back-to-back horrifically ugly losses at Seattle. They lose the first one on Saturday night by 21, and nothing changes in the second one. They lose by 24 on Monday. So, Tori Coker, we need you guys in the chat, you WNBA cappers, to hear your action. So, Tori Coker is on the Wings +6 and the money line. That makes sense to me. From someone who doesn't intimately know the ins and outs of these rosters. Now, I know some of them, of course, but that just from a simple standpoint of a tired Mercury team and an angry Wings team. So Jose set up a Tuade Latte is still in business. He's capping for another company and doing his thing, and always be a friend of ours. I love the guy, and I'll never feel any kind of disrespect from anybody. You got to get yours, and that's all he's doing. He's getting his. He wants the cap full time, and he's getting his.
Shout out to Mr. Pussy Coffee.
Yeah, I love him. I always loved him. So let's get into the line history here for this spot. Let's get into the line history. We're going to be using the lines from Pinnacle. So this nice job getting this 6. This is sitting at 4.5 right now at Pinnacle. Dallas +4.5. This opened up at 4.5 -104. Got up to 5. Came back. Oh, okay, perfect. Looks like we have our special guest here for WNBA ready to rock. So let me just set this line history up and we'll bring them on. So overall, there's been no movement. 2 cents of movement towards the Wings. Very little amount of movement. And on the total, we have a 171.5 -111 to the over. This has come up from 168.5. Let's get into the cash flow here for this one. And we don't always get the information in the WNBA, but we only have one game on the docket. So maybe we get it here. 66% of the tickets on the Wings. I'm surprised this line isn't moving towards them based on the third game in 4 nights for the Mercury and the Wings getting beaten up, in Seattle and back-to-back nights. 45% of tickets and 66% cash on the over, and it's moving in that direction. Mikey money on Ogunbowale over 22.5 points. She was on fire. 4 or 5 game streak with this line, but she had a terrible first half last game and ended up with only 21. She should move back to her key shooting role. So, and Wine Time backing that up, saying I like that. Let's bring on the star of WNBA programming and basketball programming and mixed martial arts here on Pub Sports Radio, South Jersey in the house. Please welcome Billy Brisbane to the telecast. Brizzy, how are you?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me well?
Yeah. Sounds good enough, my man. Sounds good enough. So very interesting spot. And thank you for making time for us. I know only one game on the slate, and it's probably right in the middle of your day. So thank you so much for making time for us. Mercury Wings here. With the Mercury on the third game in 4 nights, also the Sunday and Monday were at home. Now they've traveled to Dallas, which I know Phoenix, Dallas, not a big move. But they had to travel. And then we have, Riza, I'll handle that for you in a second here. Then we have the Wings getting beaten up by Seattle. Is this not a bounce back spot for the Wings? Take it away, Brizzy. Wings at home versus Mercury.
Yeah, I think the big thing to look out for is Brittany Griner in the injury report. With the being the 4th game in 6 days, I definitely think she can miss this one for this one. So if you like the Wings, I would bet it now. If you like the Mercury, I would wait a little bit. But I don't know if I like the Wings here in this spot. They lost 13 out of their last 14 games. The one win was the Camp Day win that we're all a part of there. 7-12 ATS this season. Since then, they got blown out in back-to-back games like you were talking about. When it comes to like a game scheme, I kind of see the Mercury being vulnerable on defense with tired legs tonight. And then the Wings with Enrique trying to push the pace and kind of digging more into this game. This total kind of seems like the look here. Both meetings this season finished 199 and 187. The 187 was a double overtime one. Both totals were in the high 160s. Both of them went over. Dallas has the second worst defensive rating in the league and dead last in points allowed per game. Mercury, third fastest team in the league. Dallas, sixth fastest team in the league. Looking at Enrique, she's averaging 28.3 points per game against the Mercury over the last few seasons. Her point prop's 22.5. She's gone over that 8 out of her last 9 matchup versus the Phoenix. So I'm taking the over 171.5.
We have an over for Billy Brisbane, over 171 and a half. Jose, what are your thoughts on this spot? Do you think we could take advantage of an older Mercury squad on the third game of 4 nights?
Yeah, I lean wings obviously here as well. 5, the opener going down to 4.5, and we're starting to see a 4 as well at bookmaker here. So that's very interesting. And you mentioned not much information, but 45% of the bets and 66% of the money on the over. And this total allegedly opened up at, let me double check here, over 165.5, and now it's at minus 171.5. I agree with all the overlooks. And Billy Friedrich with a great comment here say these two teams have played twice this season. Their totals were 199 and 187. So obviously be aware of Brittany Griner's playing, of course, but over I like the wings here as well.
Same here. I've only made 2 bets, and I didn't heed Brizzy's advice. He told me to take first half. I took first quarter. I lost. First half covered. And now he's saying that he wouldn't bet the Wings. What do you think about those 2 losses against Seattle? I mean, they got destroyed in both games. We don't feel like this is a bounce back spot, Brizzy? You're muted, my man.
The bounce back could rightfully be so, but I mean, Friday they play the Atlanta Dream, and if they won on Friday night at home against the Atlanta Dream, would I be shocked? Probably not. Like, I think that would be the bounce back spot. I think they're in a better rest spot advantage, but sometimes the rest spot advantage doesn't always pay out. I definitely think Dallas would be the side right now. If I like the Mercury, I'm probably going to wait a little bit. For the Brittany Griner news. With the Brittany Griner news, if she's out, I think this line goes down to 2.5.
Let me just see. Are they going to give me the... Jesus, they're giving me a 5.5 at 365. Wow. Let's just see what Pinnacle is offering. I don't see how I can say no to that.
Yeah, I don't see 5.5 anywhere else.
Okay, I'm gonna bet this right now. While I do anything, what is there any? I know this is a huge weekend as well for you. Huge week. Are you going to be around? Because you don't have to be for July 4th and July 5th. Do you want those days to party, Brizzy?
Yeah, I'll be around.
Okay, beautiful.
Tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow's not. Yeah, I should be around. I'm on vacation here, but we'll figure it out. The Wi-Fi's fine. We're fine.
Okay, I'm gonna get this locked in. Brizzy, so is this completely a week off of mixed martial arts? Is there anything going on this weekend?
Completely off mixed martial arts. Not even any like regional scene stuff going on. The only regional thing going on is LFA, South America versus Latin America. So I won't have bets on that at all. We've been on the Olympic qualifiers. The Olympic qualifier tournament started up. A couple friendly games tonight here. France gets their friendlies kicked off at 3:00. Waiting for when Luka plays again because Slovenia lost to Croatia yesterday. I think Slovenia is definitely going to bounce back in game 2. Dario Saric ended up having a triple-double, and his triple-double ended up being more relevant than Luka's triple-double in a losing performance at 26, 10, and 10. So I definitely think they bounce back in their second game. And then the other game is 8:30 tonight in the Olympics. Puerto Rico's a 41.5-point favorite over Bahrain. Do what you want with the fucking information, but Bahrain lost by the biggest margin ever in Olympic qualifier history yesterday. I don't think they get blown up by 41.5 points. I would take Bahrain plus the points there.
Bahrain plus the points. That's the kind of bet you want to make in Vegas. Just hammered with your buddies. Hoping we can stay within 41.5. Getting huge laughs nonstop, slapping ass for no reason. I'm on Bahrain, baby. You know, that's
Bahrain against Puerto Rico. You name me the starting five of Puerto Rico and let me know if they should be fucking laying 41.
JJ Barea. That's all I've got.
No, Chris Duarte is their star player.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Congratulations to them.
All right. Well, God, it's so dumb. Is I meant to bet less on the Wings plus 5.5, but I wasn't like listening to you guys and talking, and I bet a regular unit.
Here we go. The Wings matter today.
I did not mean to do that. And I was like, I had to say, I was like, I didn't just bet a regular unit on it, and I went back to look, and I was like, oh fuck.
I do think though, if you're gonna take it, I would want some type of like home reinsurance of like me getting paid out at halftime with like a first half team total over for the Wings, because they're gonna win the game. They're gonna have to score over 40 points in the first half.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that alone. Great call. Well, so far, Tommy Paul now minus 380. I love that look that you gave us, Mikey Money. Brizzy, thank you so much for making time for us here on the one spot. Tori says Wings will win outright. That's all I need to hear, Tori, my man. So thank you for your time. Brizzy on the over 171.5 here in Mercury Wings, and we'll be back in business with us again tomorrow. Brizzy, if there's any spots on the international basketball landscape that you want to touch on tomorrow, just hit me on Twitter and we'll set it all up with graphics.
Sounds good. I gotta make sure I gotta check the time of these games, because the games are like early as fuck. Like the games start at like 8:00 in the morning East Coast time.
Okay, well, let us know if anything works in our wheelhouse. And thank you so much for your time, Brizzy. Please support Brizzy at getting_bills_ on X, and support our big new UFC podcast, Locker Room Podcast. They've been crushing. Another hugely successful week for you guys. I love to see it. We're all very proud of it. So I love to see it. Any last words, Brizzy, for the Capper Sport in the show?
Yeah, man, let's make some cash. A little bit of a slow week in sports this week, so we got to be a bit precise and really hammer the spots that we like.
I love it. There's our guy, Billy Brisbane. We have a huge show tomorrow. Not as many games as you would think, but a huge show tomorrow. And we also have a $100 horse race. Will it be camels? Will it be greyhounds? Will it be horses? We will decide that. There's no donkeys. Eh? We got no donkey racing.
I don't know. I'll deep into the archives and we'll see.
Okay, yeah. Let's see if we can find it. Because I don't know if it's sprinting or swimming. It just doesn't. Maybe it should be sprinting. I don't know. Maybe we could try. Humans just aren't as fun here. And JPC watching Paul deliver here. I love it. Billy Friedrich says no looks on Nathan's hot dog eating contest. No Joey Chestnut. He's putting a small bet on Webb. That's usually Peter Loshak's field, so we can ask Loshak if he's doing anything in the hot dog eating contest. Now minus 525. Mikey Money. That was a beautiful look. There. I should have moved on immediately with you guys. And thank you. Thank you all for everything. Thank you for your support. Ron Crawford, spreadsheet play today, dog play today is San Diego Padres plus 128. That's 22-14 plus 1,500. He's up 15 units with that look there for us all. Thank you guys. Kelly McInnes, Billy Friedrich, Mikey Money, Jay Peasy, Coin, Justin McKelvey, Aubrey, Travis, Tori, Coker, Young Native, Tino, first quarter over 43.5 or under. Sorry, I didn't ask that. But he's on the over, so you can imagine that he likes the over. You can imagine that. LQ, thank you. All you guys. AOD, Kongs Clips, Cuban Connect, Woo, Riza. I popped the spreadsheet play today in there for you. Trisha, thank you guys. Rocco Rogers, Rem Most, Jeffrey Moore. Thank you all. We have nothing without you guys. Big O. Much love to all of you guys. Jose Bouquet, my friend, thank you for all your hard work and everything you bring to the show. I did ask for the clip of those sweet tea tits of yours being slapped. Jose has brought it for us. So let's have this as our moment of Zen. Jose, my friend, can you bless our action and let you ass into the future?
Of course, it's nice to see everyone in the chat. It's nice to see the new names in the chat as always. If you're new here, subscribe, become a member, support the channel any way you can. We appreciate you guys for watching. A lot of exciting things coming in the future. July 4th show tomorrow, and more importantly, July 5th show. Cannot wait. It's going to be a fun one, Jimmy. It's going to be a fun one indeed. I cannot wait to have an excuse to neglect all of my friends, my girlfriend, and sit alone upstairs and yelling at a TV screen about fucking Venezuela. So I cannot wait. Shout out to you guys. Say hey to us on social media. And fucking let's go milk these motherfucking bookies. Leche y los bookmakers.